the best part of the Great Awakening is you, folks. You guys ready, Q Army? Come on, let's go. Let me hear you. Boom, boom, boom. Where we go one, we go all, folks. And here we go, guys. Like we do on the daily. Fight, 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 and fight we will. That's what we like to do, is fight. Fight, 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 and more fight. And you know what else we like to do is win. Win, 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 and more win. And with winning being the operative word, I think that's a great segue to bring in my partner in justice, Shady the Winner Groove. Come on in, Shady. Come on in.
Matrixxx, could you help me find my pain?
Oh, man. Pain is coming, folks, and we see it every day.
Watching this BS go on in the house right now is pretty undeniably ridiculous.
Oh, and I'm in pain watching it. Oh, my gosh. Look at the Patriot pin. All aboard. Look at that. I love it. Patriot Pin, I really want to give a special shout out, Shady, to the Patriot Pin.
Yes, we do.
He fronted me some product, right? He said, hey, I want to help out. And I wanted to try to see if we could help, because, it costs money. The hotel room was $250 basically, $230 or something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, I have $400 in my bank account. So he allowed me to grab 150 pins, and we sold 120. Thank you very much to everybody that came out and bought a Patriot pin. There was probably the hottest selling thing there, even though there was a lot of great products at that road show. I really just am so indebted to the Patriot Pin Company. So thankful. It helped out a lot, Shady, and I just wanted to give him a special shout out. So please, guys, Patriot Pin, let's give him a round of applause. Give me a 45 for the Patriot Pin, guys.
Yeah, everybody that's gotten them loves them, and it's a really great conversation starter.
It is. It really is. And boy, I tell you, at that road show, Shady, we had people bringing their sisters, their brothers, and that's exactly what we need to do. We had more people there than Judge Judy and Bloomberg, Shady.
They had 45, and look, there was like people here saying 45, like everybody knows.
Look, they all had 40. Yeah, they had 45 people. Look at that. Look at the love for Patriot Pin, guys.
Well, wasn't that an interesting story that it came out that it was 45 people that attended? I mean, that's an interesting story.
It is. It's a true story.
It's like, are we trolling everywhere?
We are. It's fun to troll. Come on, man.
It really is.
Trolling is fun.
I enjoy it. It takes the pressure off a little bit.
It does. It does. And I met so many of you guys out here that are here with me today. Thank you very much. And you guys are amazing. And I love you. And I really want you guys to understand how much the Patriot Pin has helped this show. It's helped it to where we can keep going. And you guys, too, with the Super Chats. I couldn't do it without you. Shady and I are going to try to figure out how to get this to the next level. And all you guys out there are part of that. Please help share our stuff. Take our stuff. Just use it. I mean, we have no agenda, Shady. The only agenda that we have, Shady, is what?
It's the truth.
That's it.
And also, just to mention, anybody out there that have contacts to people that would have us on their air to speak about the president and Q and all of this stuff going on, we would love that opportunity. That is kind of what we've made ourselves available to do, and that's sort of what I see the future as being, is a way to share the truth in a non-combative forum, but at the same time be belligerent and direct with the information.
That's right. And I see a lot of people that have their own agendas but even though they're really good at Cube, they still have their own agenda, whether it be whatever it is, right? I don't have an agenda. I mean, I just want to dig in and find the truth. And if I post something that's the truth, and even though I don't like it, guess what, Shady? It's still the truth.
It's the truth. Yeah, and that's a big part of what this whole operation has been, is to find the bottom of the rabbit hole, right?
That's right. That's
Absolutely
right.
It stems from somewhere. All the corruption stems from somewhere, and it blooms into this big thing that you can't really see what the root cause is. And just like a lot of our healthcare system, they really like to pretend to treat the symptoms and never really go look at what the cause is and deal with that. And I think that's a little bit of that's the reason that the media has written how many thousand articles on us in a year and a half.
Yeah, absolutely. And Shady, real quick, the Patriot Pin says, special this show only. Order any of the Patriot Pins and get a free Q pin with your order. Even if you ordered a Q pin, you will get an extra one free, and the offer ends when this show ends, guys. You don't have to have any special code for the free Q pin. It will automatically be added to your order. That's a great deal. And those Q pins are the best. I mean, everything is great quality. Please support Patriot Pin, support us. He's probably been one of our biggest. Well, he is one of our biggest sponsors, Shady. All right, so wow, we've got a lot to catch up on, and this show, UK Patriot, every little bit help, guys. Oh man, thank you very much. Those are 2 kafefis here in America. If those are pounds, man, I'm telling you, it's one for me, one for Shady. Thank you so much. We called this many proofs, and did you catch them? And we're going to go through some of that stuff. While I was gone, I took kind of Monday off a little bit, and then yesterday I had some things to take care of with my family. And tomorrow I actually have an appointment too, Shady. So if you want to, I'm not going to be here tomorrow at 1 p.m. So we're going to talk about that and figure out what we're going to do, because I miss you guys when I'm gone. So we got this show together, and there's been so many Q+/Q proofs, guys. POTUS Q proofs, and we're going to go through those while we go through some of this stuff. We have always, Anons know, and the reason why we know is the news unlocks the map. Okay, you need to keep looking at Q posts, because every time there's news today, it probably relates to a Q post that has been dropped a year ago, 2 years ago, months ago. It's crazy how it unlocks the map. Dark to Light, thank you. So what do you think about that, Shady? I mean, have you noticed that, and I said it on the Red Pill Roadshow, I love when new Q drops. Do not get me wrong. But when Q isn't dropping, we need to be watching the news and aligning those to Q drops.
Yeah, I think that actually, I'm really sorry that I missed everybody down there at the road show. I was originally planning on going, and
you
then
were
some
missed.
Stuff around.
Yep.
And then some stuff around here kind of got a little bit out of control, and I couldn't get away. But part of what I was going to talk about was that. Part of what I wanted to speak to everyone about was the idea that our job as Anons isn't just really to sit and wait for something to happen. Our job is to pay attention to the news and connect it back to stuff that we have from before, so that we can present it in social media and help wake more people up to these what they've trained us are coincidences, right? They've trained everybody that there's coincidences in our world. And I think that what most people are starting to realize, especially anybody paying attention to this, is there is no such thing as a coincidence. Anything that's happening is being engineered, and the people that are engineering it are not trustworthy. So right. the whole point, of our movement, I think, is to, we are the news now, means that you understand the information. You have the information. So you have the ability to connect what happens tomorrow with something that happened on the Q map a year and a half ago, even if it's not a whole post. Now we're seeing this really interesting part. The caveat of this is where, just pieces of the Q posts here and there are lining up.
Yes.
A middle ground of, like 5 or 6 lines of it, and then sort of not relevant to other stuff. So depicting that out and sharing it with people is really what's waking so many folks up. I mean, I've seen a lot of new people coming to Twitter in the last week, a lot of new people, and a lot of questions being asked from those who are digging into it. If they don't dig into it, they're not really even going to find any of you, because the mainstream reality is hiding us.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, they're hiding you and I, Matrixx. They're hiding most anons out there. You go to YouTube and you type in QAnon in YouTube, and now all you really see are the mainstream media debunking articles. That's what they were for, so they could create a buffer zone between them and what was really QAnon coming out on the web in real raw form.
Yeah, and Modern Day Cowboy says, do the titles to Q posts no longer take you to the board? Keep catching an E. Okay, so first of all, I don't use Q map because I don't like titles. I like Q's writing to be only Q's writing, but I appreciate Q map. Don't get me wrong. So I know what you're talking about. Those posts and previous posts are gone because 8chan was taken down because of crap, because of lies. Really, it was because of Q, not manifestos of people that, post on Facebook and Instagram, ended up over on the Chans, and the Chans got shut down. You 5-5 that, guys? So,
and
yeah.
the breads are actually still there on 8kun, but they're not going to connect to your titles from the older posts any longer because the URLs are wrong.
Right, 8chan instead of 8kun. So this is what I use. I use QAGG.news. It's because this is, Shady and I had a really big hand in helping this person understand what 8chan 8kun is, how to search, what we really wanted to see. So this is what I actually use right here. And you notice I always said no titles, because titles are written
interrupt the search.
Yeah, interrupted by non-Q team's hand, and it does interrupt the search. And it also, as you know, multiple meanings a Q drop can mean. So if QMap says, this means that, tomorrow it could mean something else. And then when you post it means something else, it says this means that, and now you're screwed. You see? Does that make sense?
Because it locks it into like words that aren't relevant in the long run if it's not relevant to that subject.
That's right. And they're assumptive. Absolutely, Wazamata. And that controls a narrative, doesn't it? And I don't like my PC being used to Bitcoin, to mine Bitcoin. I don't like my processors
data mine Bitcoin?
Yeah, I don't like my processors use data mining Bitcoin. And if you know anything about code, go over there, check it out. They tell you they don't do it, but in their code they do it. So there you go. The more you know. Is that bad? I'm sorry. It's just the truth, guys. It's not anything. I'm not attacking anybody. I really appreciate everybody at QMap. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't. This is just my personal preference, and that's why Shady and I had such a big hand in creating this search site. Shady?
Yeah, because the search site does it in a little bit more aggregative of a way and not relative to the titles. Because the titles give you posts that aren't relevant when you're looking for specific keywords.
That's right. And by the way, we can search for symbols now too, guys. You can search for a lot of different things. And the search here is probably the best search ever. If you want to understand the release notes, you can go check it out. Also, if you don't have Q notifications, right, and you are a member of Discord, go join their Discord server, put Q notifications on Q drops, and you're faster than anyone out there. Because, Shady and I wanted to be the fastest Q drop grabber and aggregator that there was. And this, by far, is the fastest. Okay. With that, Shady, where do we go?
Where do we go?
Where do we go now? All right, so look at this. Wow, this is President Donald J. Trump. The government of Iran must allow human rights groups to monitor and report facts from the ground. Ongoing protests by the Iranian people. There cannot be another massacre of peaceful protesters, nor an internet shutdown. The world is watching. The reason why he says that is around November timeframe, Thanksgiving, they shot 1,500 protesters that were anti-regime, folks.
Did you see any of that in the news?
Nope.
You mean, so the news wasn't reporting that the Iranian government was literally slaughtering protesters in public with footage of it, and they completely ignored it, only to a week later stand around and scream and yell about how revered Soleimani was.
Absolutely. He was like Elvis, Shady.
And he was like Elvis and somebody else. It was another person, another celebrity they compared him to.
There was a bunch of them, and it was just all ridiculous. Brad Umholtz just ordered his Q flag pin, Shady.
Nice.
Thank you, Brad. All right, so also, we're kind of starting a little late because we got a lot. The world is watching, right? So the president just said the world is watching. Where have we heard that before, folks?
QMAP.
Yeah, we have.
We sure have.
And it's the world is watching. The world is watching. The world is witnessing the true identity of the D Party. War. Q. They wanted war, Shady. They still want war.
Yes, they did. They shot down an airliner thinking they were getting it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
I honestly think that this plan was that they thought once they fired the missiles into Iraq, we were going to respond, and then they were going to blame us for shooting the plane down, and it didn't go as planned.
Yep, and we're going to get into that too because I've got we've got some stuff on that, Shady. So hold off on some of that because we got a lot. So this is a Q dig that me, Pseudonym, a bunch of people did. But basically, FBI agent Joe Pintka, who lied about the FISA court, later interviewed by Flynn, was promoted and moved to the San Francisco area. And the AFBI, that FBI there, learned of serious problems in his FISA application. So the SF, San Francisco FBI field office have scrubbed him from his site. So this guy could be the guy who signed page 380, folks.
I think he is.
Right there.
Yep.
So there was two people witnessing and the 302s. Peter Strzok and this guy, right? And here's the Q post. Who signed page 380? And this is important. And then we know who signed those pages. Knowingly used false intelligence. Think HRC paid for dossier. Bulk. Think Steele BO. Post FBI firing intel collection. Think DOJ FBI classified leaks to fake news. Insert into FISA app in effort to provide new sources. Think PDB, the President Daily Briefing. Placement by Brennan to authenticate source as credible. Think BO, Wiseman, regular updates regarding Steele, Firewall, and Mueller. I declare that under the penalty of perjury, foregoing information regarding Carter W. Page is true and correct, guys. Very interesting stuff. This guy right here.
BO in that, I think, is Bruce Orr.
Bruce Orr. And this could be the Firewall, guys. Months before Comey's testimony on November 21st, a handwritten document by Orr. He could be Orr's handler, right? Or Orr could be his handler, vice versa. It lists possible meeting between Strzok, Page, and Special Agent Joe Pintka. Pintka must be the Firewall, guys. And, by the way, these people are involved in the General Flynn case.
They definitely are, and now we're seeing them being moved around and trying to hide that they're still working.
The FBI's invisible agent, Joseph Pintka, says Kiwi Patriot.
I think you say Pienka, maybe.
Yeah, whatever, you tomato.
Yeah, exactly.
Pientka.
Yeah, whatever.
Pierre
Delecto.
Pierre Delecto. All right, so look at this. So who are the firewalls? Is Joseph Pientka one of the four firewalls? Let's go look at QAG with no titles. Here it is. So you don't have titles here interfering with any searches or anything, guys. And you can also search by posts with commas, okay? So this is very interesting, all of these. But really what I want to show you is, they talk about the firewalls here. Again, we talk about the firewalls. Who are the firewalls? So Bruce Orr closed door necessary. Well, they closed the door to this Pintka guy, didn't they? Because they took him off and scrubbed off the FBI website, right, guys? Interesting. Shady? Seems rather quiet here.
Kind of seems like par for the course, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then here's moving on. So when who signed firewalls? Who signed firewalls? So the firewall signed, and if Pientka signed one of these, he's a firewall. And queued up, you were asking me about the movies. Here we go. Movie 3 is to be announced. And that's my opinion. This is the full start. Movie 2 was FISA, right? And movie 3 is to be announced. It's probably, what would you call the next movie? Probably Judgment Day. But very, very
Public
interesting
pain.
stuff. Pain. Yeah, just basically. But by the way, must have missed this along the way too. Joe, did you say his name, Shade? I can never say his name right.
Joe DeGeneva.
DeGeneva did an interview in May 2018 where he states that Pientka went to the OIG to complain about the actions of Comey and McCabe. How interesting is that, guys?
Rat?
Huh?
Does the rat still have a job for a reason?
Right. And I have the Justice Department tagged in here as well, asking them really to drop the case, guys. So, interestingly enough, our General Flynn has a plea deal to reverse his plea, folks. Anon's new. Here we go. This, Shady, is the most liked tweet ever. The one that is in Farsi, right, Shady?
Yep, this has now become the most liked tweet on Twitter ever written in Farsi.
That's right. And by the way, it's also a Q proof.
It's definitely a Q proof because we're going to look at that here in a second, like what it says in that. But just think about that for a second. Your media completely covering for the regime in Iran like they're on the same team, not reporting all the protesters, reporting that Soleimani was some kind of revered general, and not reporting the idea of all of the support that we have in Iran from the people of Iran to the president and to America. They painted Israeli and American flags on the ground in Iran for them to walk over, and they were pushing into each other to try to get around without standing on the flags. The people, because the people know that it is their regime that's the problem, not us.
Yeah, absolutely right. And it's the regime that they installed for their black sites so they can continue making missiles to start World War III and blame it on Russia, folks.
And now that Daddy Bush is in the ground, the whole can of worms is becoming exposed.
Prove me wrong.
Prove me wrong.
Right. So here it is, Shady. Why don't you go ahead and read the Donald Trump part there?
To the brave and suffering Iranian people, I have stood with you since the beginning of my presidency, and my government will continue to stand with you. We are following your protests closely. Your courage is inspiring.
Q Post 1604. We stand with the good people of Iran who are currently battling their installed regime for freedom. Their true rule, the people have the power. Rise up and demand they be removed. At some point, military generals will act with the will of the people simply because their soldiers are those same people and have no choice. We stand with you. We are monitoring the situation closely. Stay safe. God bless, Q.
Man, it was really a big eye-opener for a lot of people. I've gotten a lot of great comments from the video we did with all the Iran posts. And
yes.
Maybe one of the mods could drop that video for you guys. If you haven't seen that, 3.5 hours, Matrixxx and I went through, read all the posts, went to all the articles, spoke to all the articles that Q had directed our attention to paint a more clear picture about how we stand with this country, not the regime, but the people. And we stand with those people in Hong Kong and in France and all over the world now who are asking for freedom.
Yep, here's the video right here, Shady. It's got 15,000 views. And I know it's long. You can skip through the Gervais stuff and all that and just start, when we start covering the Iran post, put it on double speed and listen to us sound like a bunch of chipmunks. But it actually is probably one of the best shows that we've done, Shady.
Very, very complete, because whenever you reread all those posts, it connects to all the rest of the map, right? It connects to all the stuff with Canada, all the stuff with France and Peugeot and these companies that are still doing business with Iran. And it addresses, how did Iran get uranium?
That's right. And the EU. Why are they against it? I wonder why.
The media try to figure out how Iran got uranium?
Yeah.
They don't seem to care. They care about as much about that as they do Joe Biden's corruption with Burisma.
Look at that big, beautiful wall, Shady. And that part at the top, it's slippery.
Wall is coming.
Look at it. And he said, I love seeing the video of everybody on top of the wall couldn't get over because it's slippery. last night. Oh my God, that was awesome. But thank you very much, POTUS. And guess who knew that it was going to be done by Red Castle, Green Castle? Anons knew.
And he also alluded again at the rally last night about how Mexico was paying for it, and you can see Mexico is paying for it, and the great success that is the accomplishment of a southern border.
How would Mexico pay for it? You know, they would pay for it because they're not going to make the money on the illegal stuff anymore, right?
USMCA.
USMCA.
USMCA will basically mean Mexico pays for the wall because of the trade negotiations there, and how we're going to be bringing the companies that were in Mexico back to America.
That's right. And remember, this shady, this was in our Q post too. Where's John Kerry? He's all over Iran, guys.
He wants this deal to stay in place.
I know.
His nepotism is suffering.
Oh my gosh. Look at this.
That's stepson.
To the leaders of Iran, do not kill your protesters. Thousands have already been killed or imprisoned by you. And the world is watching. There's that world is watching again, guys. More importantly, the USA is watching. Turn your internet back on and let your reporters roam free. Stop the killing of your great Iranian people. What a great thing to say, man.
And there's been multiple journalists there who've already been captured and killed.
And you know what? That's not good enough, Mr. President. Impeach.
No,
right?
China trade deal, not good enough.
Impeach.
Yeah. Go get them, Nancy.
Impeach.
You might want to straighten yourself up before you go out in public.
Impeach Donald Trump.
Why don't you get some rest, Nancy? You're pushing too hard.
How dry I am.
How dry I am.
You know, and I was looking, and we're going to cover some of this too, don't worry. But I got a picture of Nancy. Look at this. Isn't she beautiful? Here she is. I'm at the House Senate Committee. I'm Jerry Nadler speaking right now. Look at her. Look at that thing. Is that your speaker, guys? Who voted for that? Ugh. All right. Sorry, I just had that was a little bit of
socialism.
Yeah. So any ism. All right. So Q post 1880. Oh, firewall. Here we go. We talked about that a little bit. Months before Comey's testimony, November 21, 2016, the handwritten document by Orr lists a possible meeting with Strzok Page and Special Agent Joe Pientka. So, I don't know if we covered that. I think we did. Sorry, there it is. Oh, and for all intensive purposes, Sue is going to do another PSA. Pientka did not kill himself. Just saying. Okay,
we're just giving a heads up.
Just a heads up. This is a queued up out there. This is one of our guys' last resort. And guess what? The real panic comes in the form of a last resort. And you know what that last resort is, guys? It's war. It's Iran.
Yep.
In my opinion, that was their last resort.
Well, that's what they had to have, Matrixx. They had to have that for the whole system to implode. You know, the whole structure was based on the initiation of war, and then for the central bank for the last time to take everything that was left.
Right.
You know, and so now you have an economy that's booming and growing, and so every day we are chewing into their overhead. Every day we make gains on the market is them losing. Everything we gain, we're taking it from them and getting it back into the market. It's very interesting, the geopolitical strategy being used by the central banks right now.
What is the economy doing?
Booming.
Boom, boom, boom. And remember, he said booming, Shady, during that speech 3 times. He said boom 3 times. Who says boom 3 times every day, Shady? These guys. Oh, my God. This is JT Wild in the center, along with Stormy Patriot 21, Stormy Joe. Awesome. So the key words here, look at this, guys. The key words in this tweet is, my heart is with the people of Haiti. Today and every day I remember those who lost their lives in the earthquake, including my colleague from the UN, and those who preserved to build a better future worthy their labors, gifts, and sacrifices.
Wasn't the only tweet he made with the word sacrifice in it either.
And the key words are Haitian sacrifices.
Yeah.
Gifts. Oh my God, how disgusting. So I was sitting down with lunch with Patriot Joe. We were going over that. I'm like, oh my God, I got to tweet that. So that was so fun. So look, why is Q saying this twice, guys? Why is Pelosi holding the 2 articles of impeachment? Why is Pelosi holding the 2 articles of impeachment? All right, so let's go through these posts, Shady. Why don't you go ahead and take... I'll take this one, you take the next one. So this is M2M Madness, who no longer is on Twitter. Why is Pelosi holding the 2 articles of impeachment? How do you introduce the truth about what happened to the public? What value might exist by attempting to block public testimony hearings? Would educating the public through the Senate prior to Barr, Dunham, and Huber releases be important? This is just the boom time, Shady. Narratives can be created and pushed to prevent the public from discovering the truth. Enemy of the people, Q, and we know who that is, right? Guys, did you read that, Shady? Prior to Barr.
Would educating the public through the Senate prior to Barr, Durham, and Huber releases be important? Well, wait a minute. I thought Huber already released it, and there's nothing there, Matrixxx.
Nothing to see here. Just because my sources, anonymous sources say, Shady, former FBI and current law enforcement officials say,
Anons went a little bit crazy with the Washington Post article the other day, I have to admit. I mean, it's like, guys, it's the Washington Post. Calm down. That is not really what's going on.
Listen to Carminda Brendel here says, I actually think Pelosi is setting them up. It's not what it seems. Carminda, I remember the post that says, we control all information. And when we mean all, guys.
That means the puppets.
That means Nancy Pelosi. Okay.
Yeah, that means the puppets are now on our string.
That's right.
And they are systematically being charged with destroying their corrupt system, or else for everyone in their families.
All right. Actually, there's 2 times Q says, "Why are they holding the 2 articles of impeachment?" in this one post. Shady, take it away.
Why are the 2 articles being held by Pelosi? Will holding actually impact the decision of the Senate? No. Will holding actually provide a better scenario, public opinion to the D's? No.
Nope.
Will holding actually sway select senators to change their vote?
No.
Well, when blackmailing and threats no longer work, why are the 2 articles being held by Pelosi? What happens when the articles of impeachment are sent from the House to the Senate? Can the Senate conduct other business during this time?
For the last time, no.
What value might exist by holding the articles? How long do Senate impeachment trials normally take? What statements have been made regarding timing? Think fast tracking. What statements have been made by Chairman Graham regarding Senate FISA hearings and witnesses? Why is Pelosi holding the 2 articles of impeachment? Q.
Guys, who feels like they're winning?
I feel like I'm winning, but I don't want to gloat.
I don't want to gloat either. I'm actually kind of getting tired of all this winning. No, I'm not. I'm kidding.
You're getting tired from winning.
Right.
Not of winning.
And why is Nancy Pelosi holding the 2 articles of impeachment? Because Patriots are in control, folks.
Because we're dangling the carrot. We're proving to the country that these people are
stupid,
charlatans,
treason.
Yes.
We got to get the people that we're all for these people to see what's happening. Now, let's quickly go over to. Hang on, let me grab it real quick. Let's see, Twitter. So let's go to Twitter, and I want to go over to our president. There him is. All right. Now, since December 29th, when he had 68 million followers, he now has 3 million more followers in 2 weeks, guys.
3 million in 2 weeks.
Not 1. Not 2. 3. Is that winning?
That is epic.
That's winning, guys.
That's that many people that are coming to the conversation that weren't a month ago.
Yes. Let's see, Carrie, 1227. May I ask for prayers? You absolutely. We got you. We got you. Fancy Pants Nancy said she has more charges. Yeah, and she'd be impeached today, of course. Yeah, more charges. More charges of him uncovering her scams, guys. All right, so look at this, guys. Back channels are important, Shady. Swiss back channel helped defend the U.S.-Iran crisis. Diffuse. The U.S. sent an encrypted fax via the Swiss embassy in Tehran, urging Iran not to escalate, followed by a flurry of back-and-forth messages, Shady.
Yeah, that story's a little bit on its head, but it's accurate.
Back channels are important. Sum of all fears. Cuba crisis. Bigger than you can imagine. Expand your thinking, guys.
So from what I'm hearing happened here is that Iran actually used the back channel to let us know that they were going to be not hitting our bases with what they were doing.
That's right. And I want to
please don't come back at us.
Right. And I want to go back to this one too, because this was an article by our folks. I'd like to see them call me. How Trump used an encrypted Swiss fax machine to defuse the Iran crisis. Well, let's see. Did Q ever talk about maybe Switzerland?
I'm glad he used the fax machine instead of the pager.
But do you think he used that encrypted port? Because I know about telephony, to do this, Shady. Relay back channel, Switzerland, White House, encrypted, priority 1.
Did Anons know?
We knew.
4/18.
4/8/18. Yeah, 4/8/18.
Yep.
Prevent, authority first, S, Switzerland. Castle Green, White House. Online. Maybe that could be an encryption contact window. Okay. Q. Tracking good. Relay back channel. Switzerland White House. Encryption. Priority 1. Fly high. Q.
This should make everyone feel a lot safer, even just to look at this and to understand how we're operating.
Yes.
We're operating with direct communications, and we've shown with the whistleblower call, right? The whole whistleblower call fiasco we've watched.
Yeah.
Well, he's proven to the American people he can't talk on the regular phone.
That's right.
To anything that is anywhere close to classified, because they'll leak it because of how many people are listening to his calls. So then the whole left is making a big thing about the idea that he didn't consult them.
Yep.
And then offended whenever he says that they would leak it.
Right.
I mean, everything is on its head with them, and the way that they're using the laser pointer to keep the sheep asleep is fascinating, really, to watch.
And this is what you do, guys. You look at news and unlock map. And this is a hat tip to Kiwi Patriot, actually. I believe Kiwi showed me the Swiss, the S to the WH. Kiwi, thank you so much. That's what you do, guys. You don't sit and wait for new ones. We got it all.
You pay attention to the news and then try to connect it.
That's right. You're watching a movie, says Andy Social. Absolutely. Space Force, Andy. Fly high, comms secure. That could very well be because it's going over satellite. Absolutely. Honest content. Boom. But look at that, guys. I'd like to see them call me how Trump used an encrypted Swiss fax machine to defuse the Iran crisis, guys. Q1079, guys. Relay back channel S, WHEP1. Meaning... and that should be a question mark. Switzerland White House encrypted priority 1? Huh? Fly high satellite? Wow.
Deep state failing.
Wow.
Deep state failing.
And these are Q proofs, folks.
That's a huge Q proof.
That's huge. Actually, huge. National Security Advisor suggested that the sanctions and protests have Iran choked off and will force them to negotiate. Actually, I don't care less if they negotiate. Will be totally up to them, but no nuclear weapons. So even in the Q post that we went through in that 3.5 hour show, he's saying they've got to stand up. You know we have a Q army Iran, don't you? You know we have a Q army Korea, don't you? We have a Q army Japan. We are worldwide, folks.
And we all have the same message.
That's right. Freedom.
There's not going to be another war.
We want our countries to be like they say our countries are. free and independent.
We would like for technology not to be restricted, and for people who want to innovate to be allowed to create stuff that makes old tools obsolete.
Yep. Tom Manley says Q is all of us, Shady. I actually agree with that because Q just asks questions. All of us have the answers.
That's right. We have the information. Therefore, you can't be propagandized.
That's right.
You know what? Once you've woken up to what's actually going on, you cannot be propagandized. They're trying to convince their sheep that what we're talking about here is propaganda.
So they're trying to tell their people what to believe. We're telling you, the Q people,
Correct.
Q are telling you to think for your dang self, guys. And guess what's awesome,
exactly
Shady?
different.
So many new people, more people are learning. We have all learned the comms together. And it's a fabulous thing, Shady. Isn't it?
It is, because it's rewoven our fabric.
Yes.
The fabric of our country was disassociated and really non-recognizing of each other, and it's seamed it back up. You know, look what's going on in the Trump rally.
That's right.
Look at all the people that show up and stand outside and watch it from the Trinitron in the cold. Like he's like, we're gonna have a rally in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Shady,
in the middle of winter.
Yeah, right.
And look at all the people that show up, and these other people, they could go to South Florida and, you know, everybody's in their shorts and sandals, and they can't get 100 people.
That's right. I mean, did you see that too? He called out. So GE is a major pay sewer company, right? One of the first. He called them out with the refrigerators and stuff. That was actually about GE, in my opinion. Also, today he talked about GE saying, you'll get your company back. You'll do better. I mean, amazing, guys, what we're seeing here. This Hetty Bardou says, I think the Somerset Belanoff stuff is to discredit us and Q. Yes, and you know, look at the people thinking for themselves, you know. So I think you're right. I think it's another division tactic, in my opinion. And I did look into it, Shady. I'm just going to go off the topic here real quick, but Shady and we all kind of did look into it. It could be true, it could not be true, but the one thing, in my opinion, that got me was the who is information. Shady.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's plausible, but it also seems like a bit of a slide. Yeah,
and so this, they're saying, look at the archives back in October of 2017. Okay, so let's go look at look, October 27th, this person said, it's all clear now, start posting his Q. Okay, great. Now, but what about this, guys? The raw data on glamizcalling.org is, 1/19, January of 19 is when they started. So how could they have
archived back to 2017?
Right, and now people are going to say, well, they could have had another. Oh, that's fine, but I can't find it on Wayback Machine. I can't find anything on Wayback Machine if this was glamizcalling.org somewhere else. I can't find anything. And if you can, prove me wrong, that's great. But I'm going to pretty much not go too far into it after this, in my opinion.
I've dug a little bit, and I'm not finding anything that brings me into the curiosity realm to go deeper.
Right. And that's just me, guys. Really. And if other Anons want...
I don't care who they are. I don't respect royalty, bro. Like, I don't have any respect for monarchy or any of these people. Like, to me, they're all the same size of swamp.
Yeah.
And so I don't care if it's her or if it's him or if it's it or if it's they, whatever the hell it is that's coming after us and destroying our country. I'm kind of tired of it. And so, you can take your inbreded
royalty and go
shove it.
Yeah. And that's my opinion, guys. Now look, just like iPod covers the dogs and stuff like that. Shady and I can't cover everything, but we try to, right? But we can't. So if there are other Anons doing Glam is Calling and there's some cool stuff, please let us know. Okay,
absolutely, look at anything.
Yeah, we have an open mind, but I'm not going to dig deep into it because right now we've got Q proofs with Switzerland and Iran, and this has nothing to do with that, in my opinion.
And us, to some degree, putting China in their place for the first time ever on the world stage. I mean, that's happening right now with this new deal.
Yeah.
Like on the same day with this impeachment thing, we have the upper hand for the first time because our president isn't selling us out to China.
Right.
Everybody else sold us out to China since the Nixon administration.
So and that's what I'm more interested in too. But I do think the Somerset stuff is interesting, guys. Don't get me wrong, okay? I'm not saying it's no. I'm not doing any of that.
No.
I'm basically saying I'm not going to spend much more time in it. But I think we
have seen it, we have dug on it, and we are going to keep our minds open for future relevant information.
Right, we're going to pop the Megxit off our back. Oh wait, no, Megxit. That's something else.
And today in royal family news,
I've got a Megazit.
Harry and Meghan have decided to not move to America until Trump's not the president anymore.
Well, it's not America. They're going back to... So we're going to talk about that, too, because I don't know if you guys remember Harry in Miami or Vegas with young girls in a pool. I think... Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Nothing to see there.
Uh-huh. Nothing to see. So let's worship them, folks. Right, let's listen to this. This is interesting. Check this out.
A good thing if they brought the regime down.
Well, the protesters are protesting, as I understand it, this brand of protesters about the fact that plane went down, and many students were on that plane, and these are largely students in the street. I think the Iranians should have not had commercial flights going off when there was...
They're calling out the regime for lying. They're saying death to Khamenei as well.
Yeah, well, whatever it is. But the fact is this, there were protesters in the streets before against the regime. After the taking out of Soleimani, there were protesters in the street joined together, as you know, against us. That wasn't good. Taking down this plane is a terrible, terrible tragedy. And they should be held accountable for letting commercial flights go at a time that was so dangerous. But there are different reasons why people are in the street. Of course.
Yeah, interesting, right? I got it all wrong, right? Got it all wrong.
Such garbage, man. I mean, all you have to do is be on Twitter for 5 minutes. Go to Twitter, hit hashtag MEGA, and look at the people there. Listen to what they're saying. They speak English, bro.
Yep.
They can speak English quite well, and they can tell you very, very clearly who they're against and who they're protesting and what their problem is and why are they taking down pictures of the Ayatollah from the sides of buildings if they're fine with the regime there, and that's not really what they're protesting. They're protesting all this other stuff.
That's right.
Just like in France, they tell us they're protesting other stuff. Just like in Hong Kong, they tell us they're protesting other stuff. Anything in the world they can do.
Yeah,
to
in
not
France,
stand
they're
up for
talking
freedom.
about them hurting their retirement funds. No, they're bucking the government. They want Trump kind of government in there. Which means freedom and sovereignty, guys.
It's just a complete slide. They do not want to acknowledge that there are people standing up for freedom in the world. Like, if they acknowledge that, they're trapped, man.
Spiral 2013 asks who was on the plane. Well, 63 Canadians, a bunch of nuke scientists, rockets. We've covered this in our show.
Being a physicist can be deadly.
Yeah, especially when you're evacuating a black site when Nancy Pelosi wants to destroy the frickin' evidence.
Especially whenever you might be the people that are that were planted there all on one plane.
Yeah.
How convenient.
So, guys, look at Deception Bites. I understand she's got a good dig. Don't get me wrong with the Somerset thing, guys. Okay, and if she's the head of the Illuminati, that's great. That doesn't mean that she's part of Q, folks. Jeez, that's just funny, man. They're trying to tell you that Q is Illuminati now because Beldov said, "Okay, start posting." Do you see what they're doing here, folks? You see it,
yeah,
right?
A lot of people are missing what they're doing, but that's okay.
Yeah, they're trying to discredit you, folks.
And they don't understand it. It's all right.
And it's fake news. Sorry. All right. So, I mean, they got a comment saying, I've met Summer Beldoff and I'm afraid of her, from Donald J. Trump. I didn't see the comment. I don't see where he's ever said that. He just put it in comments and now it's true, right?
Yeah, somebody wrote that on the board and now it's true.
All right, so it is divide and discredit. Absolutely, Hetty. Agree. But if you do want to look into it. I'm just saying, they want people to turn away from Q for this stuff, guys. You understand?
CNN was telling me, Matrixx, that this was not a real picture.
No, it's real.
No, they were telling me this is not a real picture. Like this isn't real.
This
the
is
president retweeted this.
Don't you
by the
remember
way.
when they came out and did this? They were triggered.
Oh
This
my
is
gosh,
a
the president
obviously
retweeted
photoshopped picture, says CNN.
Brian Stelter felt like I needed to tell you
Yeah.
that this is not real journalism. This would be a horrid nightmare to put on our country if these people they're not really dressed like this. The president is unhinged.
Yeah, Angel Games asked if Snopes fact checked it. Yeah, they said this was false.
Yeah, Snopes did say this was false.
But they said it was partially true.
They said
didn't
it was
wear that
only
shit,
true in the.
but they
said
support that
it was
regime,
only
the corrupt
yeah, it's
regime.
only true in the way they act.
Yeah, it's only true the way they act. I love it. Oh my gosh, this is funny, man. Memes are important, folks.
Memes date back to ancient Egypt.
So while the Iranian people are being killed by mullahs in protests, you are lying to the American people, Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats. The real people of Iran don't want Democrats-backed terrorists. Shame on you for playing with the blood of Iranian people. Stop.
Yeah, she's still doing it.
She doesn't care.
She doesn't care because
no
she has
soul.
an agenda. Those who do not care, those who pretend to be stupid, have an agenda.
Yeah.
That's a really big part of this. That's what's so hard to get people to grasp about the idea of conspiracies.
Absolutely.
Is like how big it is. It's like you just want to chalk it up to a bunch of idiots.
That's right.
They're not idiots.
That's right.
They're fun to make fun of, but they're not idiots.
We're gonna actually play this, Shady. Let's see.
Yeah, I think we do need to play this and talk about this for a few minutes.
Do you want to play the entire one or the one that I just have on Twitter?
I think it would be nice to play the whole ones for people to get the
Let's do it.
to get the whole story that goes along with Bard shared with us. This was a great story.
All right, let me get it over here.
Let's sit back and listen to this, guys. This is really an amazing video that was put up by Bard's for, and thanks again for
Bard's is
sharing this
amazing.
personal reality with us, because this is a big part of the conversation we're getting ready to have in the next part of the show too.
Yep, and that is awesome. Bards is a patriot, very Christian. Actually, let's listen to his story. He's an amazing guy. Here we go.
This war is real. Fighting is everything. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Tempt not the righteous man to draw his sword. Conviction, righteousness, ruthlessness. To understand tolerance, you have to understand the line of intolerance. War is the teacher, soldiers are the students. They become the bards of war. As many of you know, the deep state is doing its best to try to punish one of our greatest patriots, Lieutenant General retired Michael T. Flynn. He's now facing potentially 6 months in prison. General Flynn is being sentenced on Tuesday, 28 January 2020, at the E. Barrett Prettyman United States Courthouse in Washington, D.C. Following Wednesday's bended knee on January 8, 2020, I sent Lieutenant General retired Michael T. Flynn a note, and this is what I wrote. There is an army of digital soldiers across the globe taking a knee, 28 countries. Every one of them has you in their heart. The world is changing. You have led so many to light. The counterinsurgency is expanding in ways we only theorized in wars past. Your vision, we the people's will. Hopefully we won't have to remake the jailbreak of Panama. Kofifi, God bless, Scott Kesterson, a.k.a. Bards. General Flynn wrote me back, and I have his permission to read the letter, which I'm going to read to you in just a moment. But before that, I want to tell you a story, and I want you to hear this story through the lens of loyalty and never leave a man behind. General Flynn is one of our greatest patriots. He's in the stature of those that signed our Declaration of Independence. What he's given for this country, both in service, in uniform, and the continued fight and pursuit of the deep state, are things that will be remembered in the history books. And while we all are given confidence from Q and the Patriot movement that everything will work out, remember it's always everything in the end will work out. Remember that during the course of events, the strains and pressures on people are real. And those strains and pressures are very real on Mike Flynn. For those of you that have followed my channel, you know that I've mentioned my respect for that man. I've never worked directly for General Flynn. I've had the privilege of supporting one of his operations. He also provided support for me in a way that was life-shaping, and I will never forget that. There are 2 generals that I would give my life for, and I don't say that lightly. For those of you that know enough about me or know enough about my channel, that should mean something. One I worked for a considerable time in Afghanistan, and that's General Scott Miller, who's currently in charge of all forces in Afghanistan. He's one of the legends of military command. The second person that I would give my life for is Lieutenant General Michael T. Flynn. So now my story. The story is about Operation Acid Gambit, which most of you would know the story as Operation Just Cause, which was our invasion of Panama on 20 December 1989. Under the umbrella of Operation Just Cause, Operation Acid Gambit was the Delta Force operation to extract Kurt Muse, who was an American civilian and CIA operative in Panama who had been taken captive and held in the prison known as Carcel Modelo, which was one of the notorious Noriega prisons of torture and abuse. Muse had been arrested in 1989 for setting up a covert anti-Noriega radio station. So once Operation Just Cause began, Operation Acid Gambit was launched. And leading the operation was Lieutenant Colonel Eldon Bargewell and Major Gary L. Harrell. Now, the Delta operators were inserted onto the roof of the prison by MH-6 Little Bird helicopters. One operator was sent down the outside of the building to monitor Kurt Muse's cell to make sure that the guard that Noriega had assigned to kill him in the event that there was an attempt to rescue him wouldn't have a chance and would be eliminated. The other Delta operators did a breaching from the rooftop, entered in, raced down 2 flights of stairs towards Muse's cell. Once they got to Muse's cell, they used breaching charges to gain access to his cell and extract him. The Delta operators gave Muse body armor, a ballistic helmet, and goggles, moved him quickly to the rooftop, notifying command that their, quote, precious cargo, which was the code name for Muse, was now safe. They called for the extraction. During the extraction, the MH-6 Little Bird helicopter that was transporting Muse crashed. Everyone survived, took cover in a local building, and then were able to signal one of the gunships that was flying over in the area with an infrared strobe. And shortly thereafter, armored personnel carriers from the 5th Infantry Division came and rescued all of them, retrieving them back to base. That story has so many series of Never Leave a Man Behind. A nation, America's most elite operators, and America's infantry, all working together to make sure that no matter what, no man was left behind. General Flynn is our patriot. He defines patriotism. Let me read his letter to me. Scott, thank you for this note. Receiving it, especially today, means more than you can imagine. I'm very thankful for having you and the many other prayer warriors in my family's life. It is vital that we keep God in front of everything we do. I could never imagine myself ever being in this situation that I find myself, but it is a clear sign that evil does exist in our lives. We are fighting a spiritual war that will only be won by prayers and the wisdom the Lord has given us through his kindness and generosity of spirit and compassion. We must resolve that it is he who places us on this path of life, and it is through him that we will succeed in winning this war. We must. God bless you, and thank you for all your support, prayers, and fellowship through Christ and through the outpouring of love and spiritual generosity that my family and I feel on a daily basis. God bless America, and God bless our legions of digital soldiers. Where we go one, we go all. Mike. P.S. See you at the end of this month, God willing. So Patriots, I seldom do this, but I'm going to ask it now. I need you to spread this video as far and wide as possible. And I need you to come to the call of our Patriot. What that means is praying and or being present in D.C. We need a call across this nation and across this world to every single prayer warrior. General Flynn does not just represent Americans. He represents patriots worldwide. He represents every digital soldier that's out there. He represents the values of what we fight for. It's time that we give to this man in a way that only prayer on a global scale can do. We've talked about Virginia being one of the red lines. This is another one. And for me personally, this is bigger than Virginia. It's bigger than Virginia because this is a process of a man who's now facing the end of the court run. We have light fighting deceit and evil. This is a man that has given his entire life for this country, and he's never once asked for anything, and he's still not asking now. But I am, and I'm asking you to mark Tuesday, 28 January 2020 on your calendar, to commit that day to something that will support Lieutenant General Retired Michael T. Flynn. If you can get to D.C., go there. If you can organize local prayer groups, go there. Whatever you can do to support this, do. This is a spiritual war, and we have to perform the equivalent of launching breaching charges to tear down the walls of evil, to tear asunder the cells that they want to put us in, to shatter evil's will, to leave evil cowering in the corner from the power of light. It's time to organize. It's time to focus. It's time to wage war our way, and it's time to win. We build our strength through Pneuma. We face our enemy with the words of Kofifi in our hearts. We face the enemy, no fear. Relentlessly we push, and on the 28th of January, we rain down one of the greatest prayer assaults in the history of man. It's our choice. It's our war. Spread the word, Patriots. Prayers up, armor on. Where we go one, we go all. God bless.
So that's Bards of War, guys. And what an amazing tribute to our General Michael Flynn, folks. Shady, what do you think of that? It's
I'm
amazing.
pretty overwhelmed watching that.
Yeah.
Actually, I let that get in to the part of me that starts to get really upset with how my country's being treated, how my president's being treated, how great American patriots have been treated so negatively, so grossly negligent of their honor and their service and their valor.
Yep.
Over and over again, and we're watching these people just crumble up lives, not even military lives, but all these lives that have been through the meat grinder of these fools in our Department of Justice who are, the ones sitting there telling me that, I'm the one that's doing something illegal by lying, but you can lie and omit and deceive and all of these different tactics to frame, but saying one thing, one little sentence wrong is somehow an offense worth imprisonment.
Yes. Yeah, and when Bard said that his family, it's a different reality for them. I mean, we're watching the 34 Q post that we've got here, saying in the end all will be right and all this stuff. But in the reality, they are looking at a sentencing on the 28th. Yes, there was a reverse plea deal. He reversed his plea from guilty yesterday, folks. And by the way, we might have known about that beforehand. I'm very proud to know. But when I was talking about, using the Q post, and I was telling Joe Flynn about it, and I'm like, something big is going to happen. Shadow Recon, hey, 127 out of jail. That's right, 228, follow watch. Thank you very much, sir. I was showing some of the Q posts to General Flynn, and he goes, F no, he's going to prison, and that's the reality we are faced with. We have to fight. That's what Joseph Flynn says, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, plea deal reached, praying. It was, is it out? Not yet. Keep that low. Woohoo! Matrixxx knew. Shady knew. I think something big is going to happen, just like what Shadow Recon says here, because we've been reading the Q post. But, even though Mike Flynn loves Q, he doesn't see all this other stuff. I mean, we know, Kiwi, Sue, and I, we're all doing a dig. And yes, I believe we do help too, because we went and dropped down. Hey, look who's on Flynn's, the prosecutors for Flynn. The same guy that is FISA spying on Republicans, and General Flynn is involved in the case.
Yep.
So the swamp hasn't drained from the Flynn case, guys.
Correct.
So I've been under the Justice DEPT on Twitter saying, drop it. Drop the case now. You guys have been caught. We have it all.
And instead of dropping the case, what they've actually done is doubled down.
Right.
They doubled down and
just
made
like Pelosi's doing.
This was kind of their move because Sidney and General Flynn went after the Brady material and challenged them. Now they've come out and threatened him with imprisonment of up to 6 months. So now they're countering with the motion to remove the plea deal because the government has not acted in accordance with their agreement that they made per his plea.
Yeah, and when they're backed into a corner, they double down. They fight back. Dylan right there, Benson, just said that. That's a great way to put it. Or 302, we have it all. Hashtag OHR302, we have it all. That's right, Blaze Johnny.
Oh, yeah, the idea that the 302 was changed 6 months later and information was scrubbed and added and counterfeited. Yeah, we kind of know that.
Yeah, exactly. Free Flynn means
the news media can't figure it out.
Yeah, Free Flynn. It could also be time served if they sentence him and they came back with 6 months, right? That's what Shadow Recon is kind of mentioning too.
Well, also we have I think he was alluding a little bit there to the watch, because we have the one watch that has the date of the 27th.
That's right.
And
yeah, that's right.
And so Flynn did ask for the 30-day extension with this plea, or this 30 days with this plea removal that he applied for. So that kind of leaves the date on the 27th if they give a 30-day extension.
That's right. And why do they? What's Flynn's background? This is why they want Flynn not to talk, because he knows where the bodies are buried, right? SCIF. Military intelligence. What are state secrets and how upheld in the Supreme Court? What must be completed to engage military intelligence over 3-letter agencies? What must occur to allow for civilian trials? Why is this relevant? What was Flynn's background? Why is this relevant? Why did Adam R., NSA, meet Trump privately without authority? Does POTUS know where the bodies are buried? Does POTUS have all the goods on most bad actors? Was Trump asked to run for president? Why? By who? Was Hillary next in line? Was the election supposed to be rigged? Did good people prevent the rigging? Why did POTUS form a panel to investigate? Has POTUS ever made a statement that did not become proven as true or fact? What is POTUS in control of? What is one of the organizations left that isn't corrupt? Why does the military play such a vital role? Why is POTUS surrounded by highly respected generals? Who guards our former presidents? Why is that relevant? Who guards HRC? Why is Antifa allowed to operate? Why hasn't the Muslim Brotherhood been classified as a terrorist org? What happens if Soros-funded operations get violent and engage in domestic terrorism? What happens if mayors, police commissioners, chiefs do not enforce the law? What authority does POTUS have specifically over the Marines? Why is this important? What is Mueller's background in the military? Yes, he was a Marine. Was Trump asked to run for president with assurances made to prevent tampering? How is POTUS always 5 steps ahead? Who is helping POTUS? Now that post, Shady, is post number 14. 10/31/17, Shady.
How long have we known?
Since that time, my friend.
Who knows where the bodies are buried is very, very relevant. This guy caught them. He caught the whole administration in their scams of what they were doing to other people. Then they turned it all on him.
That's right. So here's all the Flynn posts. I will drop them in so you guys can do them. We'll have another 4.5-hour show if we go through all these, Shady. But basically, this is amazing. Free Flynn, done in 30. House cleaning. White House secured, final stage. All right. Here's another. Flynn is safe. Define witness. So very interesting drops here, Shady. Do you see one that you might want to just go over? Let me know. I'm just kind of scrolling through these here for you guys. We knew Flynn would be challenged. Part of the plan. Flynn Jr. recent did not lie to VP. We knew people would need a guide. That's why Q is here, to guide us through what is happening in the background. And how many things have been coming true, guys?
Well, why don't you try to just take 5 minutes and try to picture yourself in your current world with the media as your only source of information. In other words, you're not getting President Trump tweets and you're not getting Q posts.
Right.
Imagine how your mind would be oriented with all the blather and smugness and audacity of the groupthink and the way that they drive narratives and the way that they compromise people. What would we know right now?
Nothing.
Would we be together? Would we be together? Would we be able to dig on stuff? Would we know each other? Would we have any of these connections back? Would we be gaining the pop culture of our society back? Would we be reweaving the fabric of our nation together?
That's right.
We wouldn't be doing any of that.
And
the president would be fighting on his own. It'd be him by himself, and I don't think he could do it by himself.
I don't think he could do it because we wouldn't know either.
That's right. He needed us. He needed us to know before he started this. I mean, if we're talking about taking down a 6,000-year-old cabal of whatever it is, complete control and manipulation and hypnosis, it's not going to just happen in 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take a while, and we can see. I mean, maybe I don't know that this whole Q plan is the 3 years of the beginning of his second term.
That's right. That's why. Remember, he said last night that the next election is probably going to be just as important, if not more important, than the last one.
I think it's more. I think it's more important because because now we have some skin in the game, don't we?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I love you, Carrie. Thank you.
We didn't have any skin in the game before Donald Trump. None of us. I didn't.
Yeah, Demos is agreeing with you right now, saying, good point, Shady. We need to practice empathy and remember where we go one, we go some. Wait, no, all. Sorry.
It is. That's exactly right. That's the key. That is such the key to this is to become the bridge, to be able to bridge the gap between what their narrative is, much like you were speaking about at the rally. We've said it before, but the double narrative is concurrent. It's running alongside each other. They believe this, and we know that.
Yep.
There's a big difference, but they're not going to be able to pull us over to their side. It's our job to show them that there's a different path.
Yep.
I'm not even trying to pull people to my side. I'm just trying to show people that you're not questioning things enough. You should question things more often.
The truth doesn't have a side. The truth is the truth.
It does not have a side. Whenever you start talking about the truth having a side, you're talking about the other side of the truth, which is what? The deception.
Yep.
That's the only other side.
And they've got us mind controlled with, that's my truth. Well, your truth is different than my truth. How ridiculous is that?
That's ridiculous.
Derp, 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 derp. That's all I got to say. Now, look, here's number 2 struck page 302 mod. Number 2 is that P guy. What's his name again, Shady?
Pienka.
Yeah, Pienka. Yeah. Fusion GPS. Again, Flynn is tied up. All of this revolves around their Uranium One, selling of America, everything, folks, and child trafficking. Prove me wrong.
I want to know, how did Iran get uranium?
Yeah.
Why can't you tell me?
That's right. So,
I actually think that I would like to know how North Korea got uranium.
Yes, I would. I would like that too.
A different day.
Was that the one when Mueller brought the samples? I can't remember.
5-5.
Right. So our General Flynn is a hero. Wanted to make sure you guys saw that. This is my call to action that I have pinned. Only 43,000 views, guys. This needs to have 143. This has to have 12.5 million views, guys. So get over there, retweet it. Retweet it every day. And don't forget to pray for our General Flynn, folks. Very amazing. Here's Nancy Pelosi's fake news. This is the anti-riots coming in to the Patriots that are protesting. Let's check it out. Hear gunshots. This is what Nancy Pelosi wants, guys. If she could do this to you, she would. Do you know that, guys? You guys realize that, don't you? You realize that, Shady, right?
Yes. Just for some context here, we did try to pass a resolution yesterday to support the people of Iran, and the House Democrats voted it down.
Right.
No, they don't support the people of Iran. No, they won't stand with the president against.
They support the CIA, guys. The Black Hat CIA is
swamp.
AKA the CIA controlled Iran, just like the North Korea was CIA controlled until we got the clowns out, guys.
Correct.
That's
it right. Is actually our problem we're cleaning up, in all honesty.
Yeah, because we didn't stop it. But we didn't have the information to make an educated decision. Like my mom would have stopped it if she had the same stuff that we have today. This would not have happened, folks. And that comment that Shady made about just think if we didn't have Q, it would still be going. Their big con would still be rolling, folks.
Yep, like a steamroller.
That's right. That's right. So that was a very good comment, Shady. Just think that you didn't have this. Now, guys, let's take a look at this real quick. You guys ready? Here we go.
Then I accept your nomination.
Being president is a serious job. It's not hosting a talk show.
Will never be president.
Prove me wrong. Where will you be November 3rd, 2020, Shady? You're gonna be in that
They're
voting
not
booth.
coming after me. I'm just in their way.
You know what's really cool is 17 seconds in the end of that video. Before the end of that video is this. So we're gonna go through that a little bit too, because I think, do you guys see the messages? All the messages in the 2020 video here?
Oh, yeah,
Did you? Did you guys see this?
I did.
Look at that second 20. What does that look like?
A little Q line
Does
there.
that look like a little line where the Q is? 2020. 22Q. There you go. Then we got another one, Shady. Check this out. It's in gold. Interesting.
And I
Why
think
would that be
I-
interesting?
I think that's pointing at our new future monetary gold-backed system.
Does it? You think? Federal Reserve ending, Shady? Structure. See, that's what I wanted. When you guys say end the Fed, I was a Ron Paul supporter and wanted to end the Fed too. But from what I understand, we're not going to end it here with the Trump regime, if you will, or us, we the people. We're actually going to change the structure. Okay.
Yeah, but if we bring the Fed into the Treasury, we end it, dude.
That's right.
I mean,
Yes, we end it as the way we know it today. So the structure will change. Correct. So the Fed will still advise the banks, but the Treasury will coin the money, will be in charge of the money, and all that other stuff.
I
right?
think that it's going to be a little bit even more simple than that, because once we bring it under the Treasury, we could gut it. And so we don't need, right now the Fed consists of worldwide globalist think tank members that cooperate in all these commissions and meetings and IMF stuff. So
gold
we
will
get
end the Fed. Yep, that's what Shadow
so
says.
right now, we're the Fed through the American system is locked into all these contracts. We literally, as instruments of the Fed, we can't do anything about that. No, right now, it's an independent company. So because it's an independent company, those contracts are with an independent company that the government actually doesn't have regulation over.
That's right.
So once we bring the Fed into the Treasury, which will be the fail-safe move, then it comes under the Treasury Secretary's department, and then we can actually go to work in dismantling this mess on a worldwide scale and making our money relevant to the gold standard. This is the way we want. This is what I want to see. I want to see wake up tomorrow, and if America is doing better tomorrow, then the price of gold is more, then the price of what your $20 buys is more tomorrow than it was today. Mm-hmm. That's the way our economy should work. And they tell you that, we don't allow it to work like that so we can maintain stability. It's a complete crock. It's a lie. It's all a sham. If we had the gold connected to our money, then we would actually have a market relevant currency, a free market, if you will.
Just like someone mentioned the creature from Jekyll Island, we went deeper than the creature from Jekyll Island with the Pacer research, because he didn't go there. But the creature from Jekyll Island, it's basically this simple. Let's say you were in Greek times. You needed to go get a new you're going to a wedding, you got to get a new toga. You got to get a new belt, maybe an olive branch hat, and maybe some new sandals. That would cost you about an ounce of gold back then. Let's say if you go to a wedding today and you got to get a new dress or a suit, a tie, or some shoes, or a purse or handbag, some gloves, whatever you got to get, that would also cost you about an ounce of gold. With real money, there is no inflation, right, Shady?
Correct.
That's a very good way to put it, and that's G. Edward Griffin. He did that. He said that, and I think that is a great way to show the inflation. And with real money, there is no inflation. And Shady, I've always questioned, where does that 0.01 cent go when you buy gas, Shady?
Where?
I don't know.
Me neither.
Why am I paying 99.9? Where does that point? I want the 0.01 cent from every gallon of gas pumped. Wouldn't that be awesome? It's just something that I'm a Y kid. So note the Fed state. You are witnessing the old guard power structure being destroyed, folks.
We will know that we've won this battle whenever we get the word note removed from our money.
That's right. So look at this at 14 and 17 seconds, guys. Boom. Here's 3 and 14 seconds. There's 3, and there's 3, and there's 4. Right there. There's 14. Sorry. There's 3. 14 plus 3 equals 14 plus 3. What does that equal?
Math button isn't working. 17.
Oh, 17. And guess what, guys? The executive order, look at this, is going right into where? Is it going into the Federal Reserve?
Nope.
The executive order on 12/21/17 is going right into the Treasury, folks. All right. So there we go.
It's confusing because that would be a functional process.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's weird. Right. All right. So why is Jackson in the vid, guys?
I know.
Who knows why Jackson is in the vid? Give me your answer. Let's drop your answer, and no mods can answer.
Why is Jackson in the vid?
Why is Andrew Jackson in the vid, folks? Take the red pill.
Killed the bank. That's exactly right.
Ding, ding, ding. Way to go.
He got rid of the second attempt at a nationalized banking. And that's why they had to call the Federal Reserve something different, because calling them the whatever it was, the second national bank of the U.S., I think is the one that Jackson closed down. They didn't want to go to the third national bank of the U.S.
That's right. And Shadow Recon says, that makes sense. I see what you did there. CENTS.
He spelled it with a C.
He said, I see what you did there. But look at the date. 1833, September 10. Very amazing. That's why Andrew Jackson's in the video, in my opinion. Also, look at this.
It's also why Andrew Jackson's picture hangs in the Oval Office.
Yes.
And that's why they freak out every time they have to walk in front of his picture.
Who's this guy? Why is this guy, the Secretary of Treasury, John Jacob Jingleheimer Jack Lew, in here? Who's Jack Lew? Does anybody know who Jack Lew is? Very interesting, right? There you go. John Jacob Jingleheimer Joseph Jack Lew.
That's a mouthful.
It is. He's an American attorney and Democrat Party politician who was a 76 United States Secretary of Treasury, serving 2013 to 2017. He also served as the 25th White House Chief of Staff from 12 to 13, and served as director of the Office of Management and Budget in both Clinton and Obama administrations. Is this a hint of what could be a huge, huge boom? What do you think of that, Shady?
I think that we're starting to actually get some information.
Yeah. I mean, this guy, if he's Office of Management and Budget, honeypot, right? All the different things that he allowed. Also, he had to change his signature, too. His signature is now just a bunch of O's. It's really weird. They actually gave him Citigroup. So he was in Citigroup, and he got a huge tenure there. The Samba Financial Group is SA's bank, Saudi Arabian government. And at that time, They owned a Citibank 40% stake. Since then, SA has gotten rid of their stake in Citibank, and that happened, I believe, in 2014. But Jack Lew and Citigroup, how the corrupt get richer with cronyism. So this is another thing to talk about. Now we've got SA coming into it, folks. Very interesting, right?
I think that the world being connected at such a drastic, like intermingled swamp is really difficult to detangle.
That's right. And I also want to bring in, this is Paul Meehan at Sword of Logic, December 14th, did this tweet. It's 11-minute read, and got some things that we didn't see. Obviously, you know, the Federal Reserve System, gold standard, gold shall destroy the Fed, as Shadow mentioned earlier. It's the $20 bill, and Andrew Jackson is there. Why does Trump have the photo of Andrew Jackson? And, you know, very, very good analysis. It's funny that we found a lot of the same things. Because why, Shady? We're all learning the comms.
Yes, and it makes sense. Our minds go to the same points.
Yes, this is awesome. I love this, right? Love this. And this is the Capitol, right? This is where the control and corrupt money power is. The statue of Andrew Jackson is in Trump's Oval Office. And the statue has been telling us all along where Trump stands, with the people. And that video is just confirming it is. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you. Also, so Trump even said that as well. Then you win. Then they fight you, then you win. That is a Gandhi quote, right? Then you've got when 2020 happens, the same as earlier, but at the 14-second mark. So you got the 14 and the 3. We talked about that. Everything has meaning. I mean, they know what they're putting in this video, guys. Every little frame, they know.
It's very calculated.
It is. It is. 8. So this is a very well done thread. I just wanted to point it out. Let me just see if there's anything else more to come from the video. But in the meantime, Obama proposed replacing the Andrew Jackson on the $20 bill. Remember that? Harriet Tubman?
Yes, I do.
That's
how'd that work out for him?
Right? How'd that work out? So that's very cool. The United. So this is the Federal Reserve note. He put it together side by side. Very interesting that does, you know, connect together, guys. Isn't that neat? And then Rosie, and then, you know, this looks like a crown in the middle, doesn't it? You know, right there. Then you've got the dude, the list of the prior Secretary of States. This is the flag, right? Very interesting. So this could be returning power back to the people. And how do you return power back to the people? It's with the gold standard. That's one of the ways how to do it, Shady.
It's the only way to do it.
Right. And then I want to I just want to say that 17 seconds from the end of the video. Prove me wrong, Shady.
Prove me wrong.
Hello, guys. There's something big happening in here. That's right, brackets and jackets. Shady and Matrixxx are bringing it back with brackets and jackets. Rest in peace, Cappy. We love you. Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Impeachment.
Impeachment. So prove me wrong. So I think that is awesome right there.
I think that's a hat tip to Anons.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So there you go. There you have it. That's my little thread that we did with Poussant and the gang over there. Much love to you guys. LTQ, or excuse me, WW1 out there was there. WWG1, WGA, WPP, WWPP. Whew, it's a mouthful. But she was there too, helping us with that dig, because it was like very interesting to do. And we did our own dig, and it was funny that this Sort of Logic, who's awesome, by the way, Paul Meehan, also did the same dig, kind of, you know, but we had a couple little things. There you go. So Bernie Sanders couldn't run a lemonade stand.
He's running from people today.
Oh my God. And we're going to get into that here real quick. We demand fairness, shouts Pelosi, and the nothing Democrats in the House won't let us have one witness. I mean, why won't they let us have one witness? No lawyers, or even ask questions. It was the most unfair witch hunt in the history of Congress. So this is awesome too. Let me see. Here's the James O'Keefe stuff, guys. We're getting into that. Oh, did you see this? Here's Julian Assange. Did you guys see this? Hang on, let's see. Listen to the reporter.
Stay strong. Stay strong, Julian. We're fighting for you. We won't let them do it to you. We won't let them do this to you. Stay strong. Remember, we're here for you. Remember that. Stay strong. You will be free. Governments will not win. Wow, I can't believe it.
You can talk. Talk. You can talk. Talk.
Stay strong. Stay strong.
It's gonna be alright.
Stay strong, Julian. Remember, we're here. We're here for you. We won't let them do this to you. Because your freedom is our freedom.
Wow. That's amazing. And I loved what that person, whoever that was saying that, was amazing. So that's Julian.
I'm glad that he looks good.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was very happy to see that.
He's got good color, and he looks healthy, and he looks strong.
That's right. So it looks like he's protected, as Maria Tier says.
That's what I hope.
Yeah, Assange under U.S. protection. And that, yeah. A lot of people are saying Hillary's dead. Well, that was a hoax, guys. But maybe she was. Who knows? I can't prove anything anymore.
Well, there's like 6 or 8 of them, so at any point one could fall out.
All right, let's check out some of this here, guys. This is actually very important. Let's check this out. Oh, wait. This is the one with the hints. So let's go to the actual... Oh, by the way, I went and did some digging after that. But look at this. This is Bernie Sanders after he was throwing stuff at black people. How about that? August 1963. He was arrested. Look at him. That's going to be my president? Look at him. What a dweeb.
Not gonna happen.
That's not going to be my president, is it, Shady?
No.
He praised communist Cuba and Soviet Union in the 80s. So I did a little bit of a dig on him, but I thought it was pretty interesting. And by the way, there was a fake news study. The TV news goes all in on impeachment and hammers Trump with a 93% negative press, Shady.
Well, they've hit an all-time high. they breached their 90.5 number, and now to 93%. Wow, boy, you can't be the president and have anything that you say be part of the news, can you?
Nope. Here's your 52 decode, Shady. You want to take that?
Yeah, this was interesting. I noticed this whenever looking back that the Scavino pic that they posted on QMap had a tag of 52 as the first 2 letters of the picture.
Yep, and it says 52 UFM, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, 52 was first.
Right.
Yep.
And so this was on December 27th, and this would have been, it was 6 days before the president had to make his comments to the 52 sites that he has targeted in Iran.
There it is, yep. And that one.
So that was like
5th.
8 days later, and then the very next day or 2 days after that, we had 52 fighter jets lined up doing an elephant walk in Utah in preparation for said skirmishes.
Yep. Now we got this one.
Then we had 6 B-52 bombers sent to Diego Garcia. So I felt like, wow, this seems very interesting of a boom there, because that's the 52 on the picture, leading us to understand that this was going to be, this also said something big is coming in that Q post with Scavino pic. And I don't see anything bigger than exposing the deep state in Iran, because you and I know from the research that we've done is one of their very first missions was to make sure they had all the oil under their control in Iran prior to World War I, right after they took control of the Vatican, right before they were going to implement their Jewish state in the middle of Palestine. I mean, this whole thing was a setup as a way to aggregate the Middle East.
That's right. And
so now we're coming back around to this, something big. What is bigger than freeing the country which we enslaved 125 years ago to be the counter to our oil? Look how we're also not dependent on their oil anymore.
We're the number one.
None of your oil is coming through the Straits of Hormuz anymore.
Imagine that.
that's a 120-year cycle that's
But
ending.
yet the Nancy Pelosi Iranian-controlled state media said that oil's going to go up because of Iran. Oh my God!
Yeah, really.
We're not falling for that shit anymore, guys.
Well, they're not very Nostradamuc.
No,
they're not good at predicting the future, man.
that's right. And yes, take the red pill. Israel is saved for last for a very specific reason, and that could be tied into the biblical post because. You know, guys, I know a lot of people, because of the Bible, say support Israel, but this isn't the biblical Israel that we're watching and seeing today.
Not. Biblical Israel is more connected to the Moors than it's connected to any of these people.
Prove me wrong. I love that. All right, so we got that, Shady. That was awesome. What do you think is going to come out about Harry, guys? Harry and Meghan, Queen agrees, period of transition after constructive talks, Shady.
Yeah, go ahead and transition.
Yeah, transition. And by the way, there is Harry. So he had a naked party with little girls. He's dressed like a Nazi. He also may not be Prince Charles's son.
There's a high likelihood that neither of them are.
Right. So there's that. Let's pay for the persistent Scott Pressler, guys.
Yeah, I saw this, and he needs to take care of himself.
Yes.
Because what he's doing cleaning up this mess is not very safe.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, he could be getting in some stuff. So definitely, pray for Scott's healing, guys. And praying medic. That was a great tweet. Ricky Gervais, if you don't believe in free speech for people you disagree with and even hate for what they stand for, then you don't believe in free speech.
That's accurate.
That's right. But we got to take Trump's Twitter down.
Yeah, please take Trump's Twitter down so he can't speak.
Poor royal family. How's Prince Andrew, huh? How's that going, guys? Poor Harry moving.
Oh, the Queen.
Oh, Queen.
He embarrassed the Queen, Matrixxx.
Oh, how's Prince Andrew? What's your statement on that, psychos? And anybody that is like, look at how many likes this has got, Shady.
Oh, right on. Nice.
666, guys. So there you have Prince Andrew 6. Epstein is 6, and I'm 6, Shady.
How convenient.
How convenient. So everybody that you're like worshiping this royal family crap, my middle finger is right hanging high for you. Now look.
Have no respect.
May is neutralized. MI6 SIS is undergoing house cleaning. Queen monarchs are seeking shelter. Patience. These people are stupid. So do you think that they're seeking shelter, guys? Do you think that they're going down and they're trying to make it, with all dignity? Q said they're seeking shelter, Shady.
Yeah, and what is all this whole thing with Harry and Meghan and that Q post that says seeking shelter?
And they're moving to Canada.
Well, it kind of leads back into like my little theory about the idea of like they're trying to splinter so that they can separate from the future stuff to come so that they can come back later.
Today, my family had a very constructive discussion with the future of my grandson and his family. My family and I are entirely supportive of Harry and Meghan's desire to create a new life as a young family and seek shelter from what's to come because you can't stop it like it's like a D5 snowball. Oh, that was writer's embellishment. Although we would prefer to remain full-time working members of the royal family, we respect and understand their wish to leave a more independent life as our family gets exposed as deep state critters.
We have deep state critters.
Guys, wake up, folks. Wake up.
We don't want them to see us, Matrixxx. We don't want them to know.
No, but we will see them. I've always wondered why everybody worships these people. Why?
Because of their blue blood, man. Don't you know?
Yeah, disgusting. Resigned or fired or seeking shelter because they're going to get busted, folks. All right. Oh, by the way, my daughter got me a real cool Christmas gift. I saw Shady's and I showed her that, and this is what she got me, Shady.
She loves you.
Yeah, and that's my monitor back. That's my Q Army monitor right there. Woohoo! With my Q posts. Love it, love it, love it. pain coming, folks. Also, did you see this, guys? Look at Donald Trump Jr. on his official Instagram.
I have that meme.
And it says "Do It Q" on it, doesn't it?
Mine does, yes.
That's why I'm pointing that out, Shady.
The one that I have has like Q's in the eyeballs.
Yes, it has Q's in the eyeballs, and it says "Do It Q."
Uh-huh.
I'm sure this is a coincidence, Shady.
Oh, yeah.
So that is absolutely amazing. Also, guys, we didn't have a show today, but I hope you enjoyed the occult series from our friend LK Dark to Light yesterday.
Now working with Cereal Brain.
Yep, working with Cereal Brain, and we are food to them. I hope you guys like that, guys.
Very good series and lots of great work by LK Dark to Light. Thank you.
Yeah. Loved it. Thank you very much, LK. Also, here we go. So let's take a look at some of these. Here we go. Let's watch this.
MAGA people could even be re-educated.
I mean, we gotta try. I mean, like in Nazi Germany, after the fall of the Nazi Party, there was a shit ton of the populace that was f***ing Nazified. I mean, like, Germany had to spend billions of dollars re-educating f***ing people to not be Nazis. Like, we're probably going to have to do the same thing here. And that's kind of what Bernie's like, like, hey, free education for everybody, because we're going to have to teach you not to be a Nazi.
And this is not just like a guy that's donating his time or anything like the
news.
It's
not a volunteer?
Nope, not a volunteer. This is an actually paid Bernie
The
staffer.
CNN was telling me this was a volunteer.
Did CNN report on this?
Or MSNBC. It was one of them. One of the Mockingbirds. Actually, it might have been a paper. I don't know. It was a Mockingbird.
I think it was
paper.
a tweet.
Or it might have been a tweet by one of them. Or somebody was saying that it wasn't.
Yeah.
There was a volunteer, and this is the guy's lead campaign officer.
That's right, paid staffer
from Bernie Sanders, the communist who's pretending like socialism isn't connected to communism. But boy, this guy sure does use some social or some communist words, doesn't he?
Let's check it out.
Bernie doesn't get the nomination, or it goes to the second round at the DNC convention. Milwaukee, word. It'll start in Milwaukee, and then when the police push back on that, and other cities will.
What is going on?
Going to blow stuff up whenever you don't get your way?
Yeah.
That sounds like communism.
So D. Landry says paid shill. What? Because they want to discredit Bernie, or is this really what Bernie thinks? I mean, Bernie is offering free education. Shay, do you think we can? Think those could be education camps?
This guy thinks right along the exact same lines as Bernie Sanders, and anybody else that wants to tell you or convince you otherwise is full of Joe Biden's malarkey.
Malarkey. All right, so after Bernie was threatening
He's
people,
a communist through and through, just like most of the people that support him.
After Bernie, people were threatening to burn Milwaukee down if he doesn't get the nomination. Poussant found this headline. And it says, Sanders needs to light a fire now. The question is whether he can control the blaze. How weird is that? Oh, by the way, Fox News yesterday was showing, because they had, the POTUS rally on last night and the Democrat debate.
Right.
And they showed a picture of Donald Trump and Bernie. You know how Bernie looks all crazy haired. They had this younger picture of Bernie making him look all good. I'm like, you guys are sick.
So not even a current picture.
No.
Like a younger Bernie.
They were trying to make him look good. Fox. And Fox is the 6th letter of the alphabet. O is the what? What is O? The 15th. So 1 + 5 is 6. And X is the 24th. 2 + 4 is 6. So Fox is 666. They have to tell you.
if anyone out there has forgotten that Saudi Arabian interests own what was 60% of Fox?
Prove us wrong.
Why do they at the Fox channel only talk about the Democrat candidates and the election in the form of who's going to be the Democrat nominee? You ever wonder that?
Yeah.
Every single show focuses on who's going to be the Democrat nominee ad nauseum.
So I watched a little bit of that debate last night.
How was it?
I'm gonna
I'm
fix
glad
the
you did, so I
economy
didn't have to.
because Orange Man bad. What?
Yeah, I'm glad you did, so I don't have to.
Okay, so now, what's your stance on the economy there? Well, if we
Orange
get a
Man
hold of
bad.
the economy in 15 seconds, we're gonna screw it all up, says Tom Sire.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Stare.
Bernie Sanders says we're gonna add, for anybody making $29,000 a year, we're gonna add $1,500 a year in taxes for you.
That's
that
right.
sounds great.
That's right.
That's 10% right there, more right off the top. I mean, if you're only making $29,000 a year, I'm pretty sure we can all agree you don't have to pay taxes.
So what are you going to do on foreign policy? Well, I'm going to do a lot better on foreign policy because Trump is bad. They kept using the term too. They kept using a fraud and a fake.
But did they ever actually say one thing?
No.
Do you ever hear any candidate say one thing that is an actual policy, is a change in direction, is a different approach, or anything that would be considered like mildly relevant if you were a Democrat?
Right. They didn't say anything about their plan. And Angel Game says, you had to miss Trump's rally for that? Absolutely not. Because there was a Democrat rally, it plays like forever on CNN, so I was able to watch it after the rally. But I only watched a little bit of it because I threw up into my mouth too many times, and it almost became a real problem.
And then he was not going to be able to get any sleep, and we had to do a show today.
Oh, God. All right. So this is also interesting, and I've known this for a long time. Venezuela could have been on there, too. Any country that doesn't have a central bank is an enemy in the past, guys. You remember that, right? Cuba, North Korea, Iran, Venezuela.
And why would North Korea and Cuba and Iran be countries without central banks?
Because
we know they're controlled.
They're clown controlled. And let's give the one without central bank $150 billion, Shady, in cash. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do.
Is that a good idea?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea because these people can't even get rockets to hit their targets.
Yep. Yeah, there will be an election, Ben. It's not going to be, there won't be a 2020 election, people. I still think there's going to be an election. I'm not on that train. This was a really good article. And by the way, guys, they used the summer build-off cue. Do you see that, Shady?
Uh-huh.
So the head of the Illuminati is Q, breaking. All right, so who is Q? What is Q? And perhaps more importantly, why is Q? They did a really good article, pretty good, except for some of the things, like they pointed out that the right wing or the mainstream media is saying that we're in an insane right wing conspiracy theory, right? They did say that. Very well done. I thought they took a nice center approach to presenting the truth, which is, why aren't the people who are criticizing the Q movement criticizing us on our information? You should be able to say, look, you are not accurate because of X. Right.
And they're not doing that. The media isn't putting up Q post number 25 or 32 and pointing to that Q post and saying why that Q post is inaccurate or what is wrong with it, or saying to you, hey, read this and decide for yourself, which in theory is what journalism should be.
Right.
I mean, in theory.
Well, in theory, well, in reality, the journalism should be Project Veritas. That's what it should be, what they're doing.
Right.
And it's funny, dude. Like, I was seeing these, like, mainstream media, blah, 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 yeah. All I hear is blah, 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 blah. Those guys.
It's like Charlie Brown.
Yeah, they were saying, look, this isn't real news. I'm like, wait, dude, time out. They're saying this right from their own mouths, and you're trying to discredit that?
Yep.
If I see somebody say something, right? If I see you say something, how can I discredit that? And it's on film. How can anyone discredit that?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But it's funny how they're trying to do it. So cities burn, guys. So then, you dig a little deeper real quick. And I wanted to just go to this tweet here really quick. Where did it go? Oh, by the way, Shady, don't tell Hillary, but I voted for Donald J. Trump. Thank you, Bill. Let me see. I'm trying to get to the one tweet where I also brought up. Okay, here it is. So now, Shady, we've got gulags, re-education camp, calls for shooting, burning dissidents, burning cities. Did you remember the gang rape story, guys?
Can you say the elements and prosperity of communism?
Yes. So when is Bernie Sanders' weird gang rape fantasy essay going to come up into the campaign? And why didn't they talk about the gulags and re-educations last night when Bernie, crazy man, weird hair, is out there talking like Seinfeld, dude?
Well, can someone point me to where President Trump appointed a czar?
No.
Why was Obama and Bush and Clinton?
Just because he's appointing czars doesn't mean he's communist, Shady. Just because he has a Muslim name does not mean he's Muslim. Dude, God, you're stupid.
But he's appointing a czar.
That doesn't mean anything.
But the President Trump isn't appointing a czar?
Just because he appoints a czar doesn't mean he's communist.
I swear it does.
Just because his name is Muslim does not mean he's Muslim. You guys are nuts. You're crazy, Shady. Jeez. Do you see
I did come to the right place.
Do you see how funny that sounds, guys?
Traded my tinfoil hat.
I mean, we were being talked to by people that you're nuts if you think Barack Hussein Obama is Muslim.
They talked that. What about the ring that he wears?
I mean,
all hail Allah. What does that mean?
Shady, I'd like to talk about my Muslim faith. You mean Christian faith? Yeah, my Christian faith, right? And I want to talk about my husband. You mean wife? Wife.
That
was a joke.
What's hanging?
Long, loose, and full of juice. All right, so here we go. Sidney Powell, we just filed a motion to withdraw the plea of General Flynn because the government acted in bad faith and with vindictiveness and breached the plea agreement, pursuant to which he has cooperated fully at great personal expense and held nothing back, according to prosecutors. Boom.
It's time for him to be loud. I have a feeling he's going to be able to...
I can't wait to have him on the show, Shady.
I'd love to. I'll have him on a show. He can come on every day as far as I'm concerned. Sit here and talk to us, man. You imagine the stories this guy can tell?
Oh, my gosh.
Especially like with this last 2 years under his belt, and there's no telling what the hell they've threatened this guy with.
That's right.
Really, we know X amount, but I'm pretty sure we don't know it all.
Yes. In fact, we're going to be even surprised, Shady. All right, so I want to say this. I'll show you this. This is the Senate Republicans, guys. At Speaker Pelosi's urgent impeachment will come to the Senate tomorrow. Now it's our turn. So let's watch this.
Impeach 45.
We're going to go in there, we're going to impeach the motherfucker.
And that is part of what gives us the urgency to proceed with this impeachment.
Urgency of the issue. The timing is really driven by the urgency.
Article 1 is adopted.
Stay up.
They started 3 years ago trying to find something that they could impeach Donald Trump on. Because you know what? They just don't like the guy. They don't like him.
Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi have had this impeachment inquiry in their hands for months, and now appear to be getting cold feet in presenting the case.
The House of Representatives sitting on this, installing it, undermines the very point that they made about why it was so important that they do this, if they rush it.
Nobody's done anything dumber than this. Impeach the president because you absolutely have to. Time is of the essence. It's urgent. We can't wait and sit on it for weeks. It makes no sense.
House Speaker Pelosi says she's going to send the articles of impeachment to the Senate this week.
The public saw through what they did in the House and what she was doing withholding them. They saw that as a political stunt.
So we're going to follow the Senate rules, and we're not going to follow Nancy Pelosi's rules.
The Senate is ready to have a trial. The president deserves to have a trial. The American people deserve a trial so we can put this thing to rest.
It's the Senate's turn now to render sober judgment as the framers envisioned.
There you go. The House has done enough damage. It's now our turn. And do you remember this Q post, Shady? My turn. Sweet dreams. Q.
It's not gonna be fun for them.
That's right. Boom.
It's gonna be fun for you guys, though.
Oh, we're gonna love it. Do you guys see how this was? I mean, let's watch this. I gotta watch this again. 1 minute and 17
This was incredible.
seconds. 1 minute 17. Here we go.
From Louisiana State University and Clemson University, joined by the President of the United States and the First Lady.
USA. I don't hear any boos, Shady. Does he go to the 17-yard line? There's the 15. He's on the 15. 16. If he moves over 3 more feet, he's on the 17. He's on the 17-yard line, guys. He's on the 15 now. But wow.
Well, there wasn't any booing.
Uh-uh.
And boy, Vince Vaughn's taking some heat for just speaking to the man.
And we will get to that right here, my brother. Let me see, where did that go?
Just a little bit rude.
Oh man, I tell you, that really did. Oh, by the way, make gulags great again.
Make gulags known again, he says. We're going to bring back the re-education camps. Yeah, we got some re-educating to do, but it's the generation that just got through college, not the older guys.
If you don't want to fight against the revolution, you're going to die for it, a mofo. I mean, this guy is sick, dude.
Well, he sounds like a communist Marxist, my friend, because those guys all sound exactly the same.
Let's check this out. So there he is. He's talking to Donald Trump. I'm not a good lip reader, but boy, that triggered the leftists, man.
Well, this guy that tweeted it in like, the Timothy Burke, I think he was like a commentator or something, and he tweeted with, "I'm sorry, I have to report this."
Yeah.
And the tweet's gotten like that video's gotten like 8 or 9 million views already. But
this Timothy Burke person here.
Yeah, he hated to have to report this, so he's telling on Vince Vaughn, and giving him giving the left some chum in the water there to go after, to attack.
Interesting.
Can't talk to the president of the United States. That's sacrilege.
Orange man bad. Orange man bad.
Another tweet from people who tweet too much.
Yeah. So that's that. Let me see. Oh, look at this, guys. Did you hear this? I'm going to actually play this here. You'll probably be able to hear it better. Let me get over here. Listen to this, guys.
University, but they did go after him. But he didn't knock down the World Trade Center. So they got a lot of bad thinking.
Do it, Q.
Did you hear it?
I heard it.
Was that awesome?
That was like a Baba Booey shout out.
Right?
Do it, Q.
Do it, Q. Here.
Harvard University for terrorists, right? But they did go after him. But he didn't knock down the World Trade Center. So they got...
Right as he said he didn't knock down the World Trade Center. How interesting, huh?
So they got a lot of bad... So they got a...
Do it, Q. So everybody's like, well, he didn't really acknowledge it. I go, no. So keep tweeting it. Keep tweeting it, guys. Be loud, be proud, be heard. Now, here's your Democrat managers, guys. What do you think of this, Shay? This is a great list, huh?
Oh, I think this is
who not to vote for.
Boy, you really have a nice bag to pick from here.
Bag. Look at how good they make Jerry Nadler. Look at Jerry Nadler of New York. Oh, look at me. I'm all fit and happy. Russ Schiff. I mean, look at Schiff.
Excuse me, Mr. Nadler. Your belt is touching your chest.
And please attach it to the nearest doorknob and bend over and pick up that piece of candy. All right. Congresswoman Val Demings, Hakeem Jeffries, Zoe Lofgren, Jerry Nadler, Adam Schiff. Don't forget Jason Crow, Colorado. Vote him out. Congressman Sylvia Garcia of Texas. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
These people are done.
Oh, well, this is going to be hilarious because they're going to have to actually speak over there and be asked questions and stuff.
How about the whole Russia government resign, Shady?
I heard that.
Isn't that wild?
I think that's pretty crazy.
So they're going to say, oh, he's going to be more of a dick. I have a feeling that he's not. I think they're going to buck communism, dudes and dudettes.
And rearrange their government?
Yeah.
That would be nice to see. It would be great to see Russia pivot.
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to battle us.
So, by the way, people don't realize Russia kicked out the central bankers in the 90s, guys. That's why they hate Russia. But
we also have a Q post talking about Mr. Putin.
And it's good for business, right?
Remember that one? Let's see if I can remember which one.
About them being Satanists?
Yep.
Let me just put Putin. P-U-T-I, Putin on the Ritz. There we go. There's a couple of them. So here you go. Here's one. There are more good people than bad. The Wizards and Warlocks inside term will not allow another satanic evil POS to control our country. Realize Soros, Clinton's, Obama, Putin, etc. are all controlled by the three families. The fourth was removed post-Trump's victory.
The bottom of 133.
It's right here.
Yep. No, there you are. Okay, you're there. Yep.
Vladimir Putin. The New World Order worships Satan. Who could it be? Satan? I bet he already took the piece through strength. See this, guys?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Satan?
Terry, thank you very much. Love you guys. United States of Q. Zoom, my brother. That was interesting. Let's see. Want to also show you this. This is last night after the debate. Lucas County Commissioner, Democrat, daughter arrested outside of the Trump rally. Look, she got beat up a little bit. Resisting arrest and disorderly conduct. How about that?
Triggered.
Why are these people so violent, Shady?
Because whenever you...
I never went to a Hussein rally, dude, and acted up.
But it's not relevant to the physical. It's relevant to your mind.
Right.
This is what so many people don't get this. Whenever you have been had your ability to logically think removed, what replaces that is an emotional response to stimulus.
Yeah.
So really, you don't have the ability to stand and make your point and say why something is wrong, even if you were to really think it was wrong. You can't articulate it. So the only way that you can that leaves the human being in a state of shock and in a state of anger. That anger at yourself immediately will project out to others, and that's why communists, socialists, leftists of the whole like will all act in this way, because their minds are unable to think for themselves. They literally are programmed, and the only way to combat someone who's saying something opposite to your program is to attack them, because you can't actually debate them with words. You can't use your free speech, right? You have free speech. That means that no matter what anybody says, it's free speech. They want to tell you that there's such thing as hate speech. I'm here to tell you it doesn't exist. There's no such thing as hate speech. I don't care how mean and nasty something you say is.
That's right.
It's just the truth.
So Laura Pickle, she's a gherkin. Don't be jerking the gherkin, Shady. But do you see this? And look at what they said here too. So this is what she was resisting arrest and all this stuff. And the gherkin commissioner guy says all Americans have the right to free speech and to exercise their right and express their opinions. Just what you were saying, right, Shady?
Yes.
And the Toledo Police Department, all law enforcement professionals, did a great job yesterday arresting my daughter. Protecting everyone's safety in the downtown area. Like so many other Americans, we feel strongly about the views of President Trump.
And part of the reason that Matrixxx and I are doing this, just to kind of talk to this while we're on the subject. This is what we're attempting to present, right? We're attempting to present the honest conversation about the debate of what is happening in our world in reality, the truth. When we talk about the truth, that means we're not speaking from the perspective of having some sort of narrative that it's predetermined. We're speaking from the perspective of understanding that new information can constantly update what we're working on.
Yeah.
Okay. And so these people operate in a way to where whatever it is that's stuck in their head can't go anywhere. They can't get the thoughts out of their head because they have no idea how to logically discern. Therefore, they're trapped. And whenever you're trapped like that, it creates anger, frustration, and violence. That's why that's what our Constitution was put there for. That's why they said a republic if you can keep it, because they didn't know for sure if we could stay awake enough, if enough of us could stay awake to keep the idea of true freedom, of true liberty alive and burning throughout the tumultuous times it was going to be from the rest of the world attacking us and trying to remove the great things that we've created here. That's really what they're doing. They want to remove our ability to show the rest of the world how you can debate two sides of an argument and compromise. There's no compromise in communism. It doesn't exist.
That's right.
That's why you see these people like this. Oh, we're in the Bernie campaign. We're further left than even Bernie Sanders.
Right.
What does that mean? That means that you're radicalized. That means that you're Antifa.
Yeah, and that guy reminds me. I mean, so that was my thought too about the Bernie Sanders staffers being so communist. Are they Antifa? So remember when Hillary Clinton, hate saying her name, Hillary Clinton lost the presidency. She thought she was going to win, but she didn't. They hammered Bernie. They really screwed Bernie. I mean, he got a new R8, maybe another home.
He got a black eye too.
He got a black eye. Well, you always get the black eye if you're dealing with the Clintons. You got to have the proboscis goes. Anyways, by the way, so I'm just kidding about that. So, but I think they promised him to be the president the next time. So is that why they're putting the full weight behind him right now of Antifa, possibly? Yeah, on his campaign.
His soldiers coming to his aid soon.
Yeah,
because this seems like a call. This seemed like a call to arms.
It does. I mean, he should be arrested.
Well, I mean, where were these people whenever Bush was, we're seeing all these camps and re-education camps being built and all of these people on the opposite side of capitalism talking about the conspiracy and whatever. And now a lot of these folks kind of ignore that.
Yeah.
They really are. They're ignoring what it was they stood against before. It's a topsy-turvy world, and people will say whatever they're paid to say.
Shady, the best part of this great awakening is you, and I mean each and every one of you. It's amazing.
5-5.
The power belongs to the people. You are what matters. Think for yourself. Trust yourself. You are not alone. We're all here with you. Open your heart and your mind. This is the great awakening, and this is the picture. It's beautiful. The best part of the great awakening is you. I love that meme.
It's a great meme, and it really does. It does hit into what we're discussing with. Are you my brother's keeper?
Yep.
If you're not my brother's keeper, then we are not countrymen.
That's right.
And what they're trying to do is to make us not countrymen, to make us divisive and hateful towards each other, therefore making the overtaking of you much, much simpler. It's way easier when you can't think. It's way easier whenever you have no finances. And for the folks out there who listen to us, who are older, who have children that are in college right now or have recently graduated from college, I would implore you to attempt to connect with them and re-educate them as to what they unlearned in college about the Constitution and about our forefathers and about our system of government. And the institutions like borders and elections and electoral colleges that they want to tear down are actually the foundations of which our nation resides.
Yeah.
If you take out the foundation, you no longer have a house.
Yes, and don't worry about the education. That will all change in due time. You got to drain the swamp first. You got to get rid of all the corrupt, companies out there, all the corrupt politicians. I mean, it's happening, guys. It's happening. What I think too. Let's see what I got here, Shady. This is the POTUS. Oh, you told me about this story today, Shady? Look at that.
Yeah, this is a pretty amazing story, and not getting a lot of press. But this was this happened in Palm Beach for the Marine One. This guy somehow got past 2 checkpoints towards Marine One to fly the president, and an officer, an actual police officer, noticed that this person wasn't wearing the proper uniform, and alerted the Trump staff or the Trump campaign or whoever was doing the traveling there in Palm Beach, and they caught him. This guy had breached security and was an ex-Marine or an ex-military, and he was getting ready to get on Marine One with the president.
Yeah.
Like a week ago.
Isn't that amazing?
I mean, what's amazing is how many times that you and I, Matrixx, over the last year and a half have watched them try to kill him.
Yeah, and how many times we probably don't even know.
I mean, how many times we don't know about is even more disturbing than knowing about as many as we do know.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's interesting there. This is, so today our president introduced Sheldon Adelson, says he's done a lot for me and the Republican Party. Do you remember this thread, Shady?
Oh, yeah.
So the Sheldon Adelson could be an alternative meaning for SA and
Well, at least
Godfather.
for some of the essays, for sure.
Yeah, some of them, right? What was SA known for? Where do the biggest donations originate from? Well, let's see. Sheldon Adelson, how many million? 30 million to the GOP. Huh. So that's where did the biggest GOP come from? It could come from him, guys. And right after what is it called? Oh my gosh. And right after the LA shooting or the terrorist attack, whatever it was called or whatever happened there, right? We know that we kind of have an idea what happened there, all of us. But he was the first person that saw President Trump the next day, Sheldon Adelson. And he has a lot of influence, guys. Now look at this. They called him the Godfather of the Middle East. Let me just find the part. Here you go. Let's see.
There's 6,999,990,000 people that are not at my level.
Count me in. The billionaire uses his fortune to influence a lot of policy. He's the GOP's biggest donor, shelling out about $100 million to elect Trump and other Republicans in 2016. Adelson didn't just want the embassy moved. He also lobbied Trump on Iran, an avowed enemy of Israel.
Well,
the United States
what do you think?
will withdraw from the Iran nuclear deal. When I make promises, I keep them.
Just a few days after Trump delivered on that promise, Adelson committed another $30 million to the Republican Party, possibly the biggest single donation in U.S. history. Adelson's connections extend to other world leaders, too, including former Prime Minister Stephen Harper, who recently emerged.
Isn't this interesting? They call him the Godfather of the Middle East.
This guy's got tons and tons and tons of tentacles.
What are they called?
Tentacles.
Okay, guy, just checking.
Like an octopus.
Do you guys remember this hotel? Guess who owns it?
Sky Event.
Sky Event. Sheldon Adelson owns that. Yeah, just very interesting, guys. He mentioned him talking. He's a good friend and a real big friend of the party, the Republican Party. But I just thought it was interesting to look at. Maybe it's another thing. Sheldon Adelson and Rothschild. The Holy Sheldon Adelson. That's some blue sky, Q blue sky stuff. But I just thought that was very interesting. And maybe he's a white hat, and he does send a lot of people to Israel for free. And remember, what are we saving for last, guys? For a very specific reason.
Five.
Right.
Anon's out here, no.
Yeah, we know. I'm fresh. I know, Jeannie. I am fresh. In fact, when we were in Discord with a bunch of liberals, It was really, I had to put a lot of sense in the cuss cup because, we can't be funny, we can't have double entendres, and we can't swear with liberals. That's why I know you guys are all awesome, because we can have fun here. I don't know what it is. Did you notice that too, Shady?
I did.
Oh my gosh. They didn't have a sense of humor. We have to have a sense of humor. All right, so look at this. This is Wolf Blitzer. Ready, Shady?
Yes. He doesn't have a lot to say.
Did CNN tell you not to bring up Kyle Jurek? Mr. Blitzer, just a real quick question. Did the network tell you not to bring up the Project Veritas tape? It's a simple yes or no, sir. Did you see the Project Veritas tape? Do you know about Kyle Jurek, sir? Do you disavow Democrat terrorism, Wolf? As a mainstream media member, will you disavow Kyle Jurek? Did you see the Project Veritas video, Wolf? Why won't you answer a simple question? I have no idea what you're talking about. So you've not seen the Project Veritas video? Well, Kyle Jurek from the Bernie Sanders campaign says he wants to burn cities to the ground, and he's on the Bernie Sanders campaign team. You haven't seen that? Nope. Will you disavow political terrorism?
Nope.
So you will disavow
He said okay.
Democrat
He said,
political
of course.
terrorism like Bob Kramer?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So you must be bad at your job. Will you disavow Bob Kramer and Aaron Black and Kyle Jurek? Will you disavow them, Wolf? So here's another CNN anchor. Here's another CNN anchor who won't disavow Democrat terrorism.
It's a Wolf Blitzer Blitz. What do you think of that? That was cool, huh?
I tell you what I think of this. I think that the news media has spent the last 3.5 years making themselves the story.
Yeah.
So now we're making them the story.
That's right.
That's exactly what we're doing. We're going to make them the story. We're going to show you that they are not the center-minded mediators of information, but actually have an agenda that they're perpetuating that comes from the perspective of keeping America.
Yeah.
They want us destroyed.
Right.
And they've been working hand and foot tirelessly to do that in the shadows, protected. And now what you're seeing there with Vernon or with Stroyer and others, O'Keefe, is we're targeting the people who are supposed to be your news media for a reason, because
That's
they're
right.
not. They're
Yep.
players in the game. They have an agenda. They're not mediators of information.
Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right.
Everybody to the right.
Here I am stuck in the middle with Q. All right, so to top off what Shady was saying, I mean, this basically drives that point to the ground, into the ground. Here we go.
Bernie Sanders calls himself a democratic socialist, but Jurek says he is more a communist than a democratic socialist, and he's proud of it. And he proclaims he is not alone.
That's crazy, though, that guy was saying.
Yeah.
It's like, I know we have a lot of like the communists and the Marxists like on our side, but
I'm one of them. Yeah, and in fact, there's.
All right. I don't think a lot of the Democrats would consider themselves communists and Marxists. At least the ones that voted for Hitler. I don't think. I mean,
I don't think they would either. I don't think any of them would.
No, let's keep going.
1, 2, 3, 4 of the organizers in this office are leftists of some degree, further leftward than democratic socialism.
Right.
To what degree, varies, but many of the organizers that I met, actually I didn't even count Justin. So Justin, me, Derek, Danielle, Jessica, are all definitely further left than democratic socialism.
There's a lot of me's in the Bernie campaign.
There's a lot of me's in the Bernie campaign.
Yeah, and do you notice how the media have been coming at Stephanie Grisham and the president within the last week, talking about how they want there to be more press conferences?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they're hammering, they're saying that the president isn't doing, that by not holding the press conferences, that he's somehow doing a disservice. But he's giving himself, just like we said, 6-8 months ago, we started talking about this. He's giving them more access to him than any other president ever has. He stands there, he answers every question, he gives them a ridiculous amount of time, and then they're allowed to ask him whatever they want. But what is he really doing? He's presenting the next Jim Acosta bounce around clown to make himself the news.
So this is what we need. Bernie. Let's vote for Bernie. Prisoners should have their skulls squeezed with iron rings that a human being would be lowered into an acid bath. That would be trussed up naked to be bitten by ants and bed bugs. That a ramrod heated over a Primus stove would be thrust up their beep canal. The secret brand. That a man's genitals would be slowly crushed beneath the toe of a jackboot. And that is the luckiest possible of circumstances. Prisoners would be tortured by kept from sleeping for a week, by thirst, and by being beaten to a bloody pulp. And when he means prisoners, he means Trump supporters, guys.
He means the people who need to be re-educated.
You, me.
You and I.
Wow, I can't believe we've been on for over 2 hours, Shady.
Or the people that Twitter calls a Russian bot.
Bop, boop, beep, boop, boop. Right?
That's us.
Right. So this is more appropriate today than when I even posted it. Let's check this out. Yeah, there's no sound, but look at there's a Bernie bus. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Bernie
Future debris. Oh, wait. Being towed by the Trump train truck.
5-5.
5-5. So I think that's more important today than this is so more appropriate than when I posted it. But thank God for James O'Keefe. It was a pleasure to meet him when I met him. What a great guy. This is real journalism, and I
think there's more coming.
Yep, there's a lot more coming. In fact, there's part 2 released. Go watch it, guys, and check it out. And Shady, man, we've been on for a long time, man.
Well, we had to get a lot out there, and I hope everybody's really starting to see the importance of how we have to maintain the middle ground here.
Yep, and
you can't get overcommitted. You can't get over your skis. Stay in the center lane and talk to what you know, and don't stick your don't say things you can't back up, because
right.
people are going to be not necessarily hostile, but pointedly direct in their questioning whenever that you say stuff, and you want to be ready for what they say. So take it easy out there, because this is heating up in a negative way on some levels with this rhetoric that's coming from the left, and I think we got to kind of let it happen so we can stand here and point at them and tell you that you don't want Venezuela.
Yep, I'm sorry, this is auto-played. But look at this, Shady. This is the Iran State TV sees at least 2 news anchors quit. Forgive me for the 13 years I've told you lies. When are we going to see that here, Shady? We got one of the guys telling us lies, reporting on the lies, Shady.
Yep.
Let's watch it.
Rick, hello.
Let's see.
And good morning, Bill and Sandra.
Oh, this is Iran riot police.
Vigils, but the crowds grew angry at the Iranian regime.
Yeah, so we knew that. We know that we're with them. But look at that, guys. So thank you for accepting me as an anchor until today, says Zara Katamani. I will never get back to TV. Forgive me. Thank you for all of your support and all the years of my career, she said. I announced that after 21 years of working in radio TV, I cannot continue my work in the media. I cannot.
And she goes on to say it was because she was lying to people and telling them what the state wanted her to say.
Right.
And I would suggest that most of the people that sit in front of you in nice, pretty clean suits are doing the same thing.
Yeah. So she's going to stand with her people and protest against the regime. God bless her. And you know what? People are afraid, man. So I can't, finally there's a way out, and she sees it. And she's going to put her life on the line, quitting her career. She could have stayed there and be all fat and cozy, and who knows? But she's going to fight, Shady. It's finally her time. It's finally the Iranian people's time, Shady.
Yeah, I think this is their time, and there's going to be no better time than right now, because we got 5 years more that we can help them grow out of this mess.
That's right. And by the way, you guys, we've got 1,066 people watching, and we thank you very, very much for being here. Wow. 164, 2 people just left. Dang it. Get back here. By the way, if you have... There, thank you. 1 came back. By the way, do not forget, I owe a world of thanks to the Patriot pin. They fronted me some pins, and it was one of the best sellers over at the Patriot, the Red Pill Roadshow. I met a lot of great Patriots out there, Shadow Recon out there. I got to meet him. Wow, what a great dude. Hit that thumbs up button before you leave. Don't forget, we've got a Patreon and a PayPal. We've got a change coming to the YouTube that Kiwi and Sue are working on. Seems like it could be pretty cool. We'll tell you about that later. But also, the best way to fund the show is the Patreon, the YouTube, the Super Chats, and the PayPal. Those are the best ways. And also, besides the Patriot Pin, the Patriot Pin has been our best sponsor so far. Don't forget, we also have the Red Pill Living as well. redpillliving.com/intheMatrixx. And get over there and check it out if you can, and use the code Matrixx for 10% off. If you guys know any sponsors or anybody that wants to help us help you win, we're here, guys. Shady made that announcement earlier today. And Shady, with that, I think we're gonna get out of here.
We're gonna duck and cover, but let me tell you, there's no group on planet Earth that's winning as much as the people that are paying attention to Donald J. Trump.
That's right.
It's really epic, and it's actually hard for other people to digest, and so we have to win with a little bit of humility out there whenever you're trying to red pill.
Yeah.
So think about that. Hold that in your heart. I think we're not going to be around tomorrow, Matrixx, but we're back Friday at 1. Is that correct?
Yes, unless you want to get on here and do a Q Lounge live. On the midday. Yeah, so I'm going to be off tomorrow. No Matrixxx Grooove Hour tomorrow. But what about Friday, Shady?
Well, I'm not sure about Friday because we've got this interview with Barbara that's going to be on at the same time, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing on Friday right now.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I'm not sure if I want to interrupt that because she's going to actually be on another Patriot channel.
Right. That's right. Okay. Gotcha. All right.
At the normal lounge time, but I'm
That's on the
considering
16th,
what
right?
options
Wait,
are.
the barber's on the 16th. That's tomorrow. Right?
I thought that was, I'm pretty sure. Maybe, is it the 16th?
Let me just double check because we should actually make sure people know about that. Hang on one second. Let me get to the link. I am going to get it,
For some reason, I thought that was 17. Was it 16th? That'd be awesome.
Barbara Flynn, 16th at 9 to 11.
Yeah, if we have the link for that, I'd like to share that with the guys out there.
Yep, I'm going to it now. I'm going to actually throw it on the screen. This is Misty Lynn. We've worked with Misty Lynn before. She's been an amazing patriot. I have a lot of respect for her. Let me go ahead and get the windows up. Hang on one second, guys. There it is. This is Barbara Redgate Flynn, sister of General Michael Flynn, will be joining Misty Lynn live on January 16th, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. for a 2-hour special. This lady is amazing. I agree with that, and is the ultimate MAGA lady, and will be sharing many of her experiences. Wow. So Misty has a show called The MAGA Ladies with very special guest Barbara Flynn Redgate. Wow. I can't wait to see that. I will see that. That's tomorrow, guys. And I will drop the link in here for you guys. Here's the Twitter link. And Shady. Boom. There we go. There's the Twitter link. And let's go to the actual YouTube link. Boom. And I'm dropping that in here for you guys now. Let me set a reminder. I can't believe I didn't set my reminder yet. Let me give that a thumbs up already, because that's a thumbs up. Here you go, guys. Get over there. Check them out tomorrow, January 16th, guys. And Shady, with that,
we're out of here.
Here we go. Do it, Q. God bless General Flynn. Don't forget to tweet that. Bards of War out there. Shady Groove with 3 O's. In the Matrixx with 3 X's. intheMatrixx.com, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and resubscribe if you've been unsubscribed. Hit the bell. Set the reminders. Share us, guys. I dare you. If you like us, please support us by sharing in any of the ways down below in this vid. Love you guys. Peace.